attacked by a pack of dogs. But she said it's okay.
Good to see you, bro.
Cheers, brother, and welcome.
Thank you very much.
I pretty much just wanted to start off and say that I'm fucking super proud of you, bro, and you built something really well here.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And obviously, it didn't start from nowhere. Where did it first start? Where did it first kick off? When did you first get the idea of Ozminis?
Yeah, so I've just always loved motorbikes, you know, so since day one, always been obsessed with motorbikes and stuff throughout my childhood and whatnot, and then I kind of ended up starting a Facebook group, and Ozminis kind of spawned from that group.
Yeah.
So that group was just sort of started by connecting people, you know, in New South Wales with a stock exhaust or whatever, or needed an airbox or whatever, and it kind of connected them.
Just being the plug for the...
Yeah, kind of making a little platform for everyone to kind of traverse on. And then, so, you know, I built that up to about 100 people, 200 people, and then it hit 500 people, and then COVID hit and it jumped by like a couple of thousand. And then everyone was posting on there like, where can we get brand new this? Where can we get brand new that? And I was sort of waiting for someone to come along and do it, and then no one was doing it. So I don't know, I kind of ended up doing it through that and sort of being that person that wasn't sort of around doing it. So yeah, I started bringing in all the new parts.
Yeah, I've seen the Facebook page slowly growing over the years, and it's actually like amazing. Like I think you got in there at like the perfect time, because like you said, no one else had really done it, and you sort of just shoved your foot in that hole. And yeah, I don't even know, did you expect the Facebook page and that to blow up as much as it did?
No, not at all, to be honest. No.
Where is it at now?
I think 16,000. Yeah, we're just over 16,000. So I did never.
And how long?
About 3 or 4 years, I reckon. Yeah, about 3 or 4 years. For the first year, it took ages to get to 1,000. It takes so long to get that first bit of momentum going. And I never would have thought it would have ended up with 16,000 people all over the world. You know, they're from everywhere: Europe, America, New Zealand. So
you sending to people, in America and
we ship worldwide. Yeah, we're doing worldwide. We're actually doing a couple of little. We're just getting into the Swedish scene at the moment through the super motards and all that. So yeah, I had a few people with like 150k, 200k followers DM the Ozminis page. Yeah. And we're doing a little collab with them, and so we're going to.
So they're sort of like your other baby Instagram page, the Tricky. Are they similar to that?
Yeah. Well, they're like a big version of the Tricky Moto page. So they're like the established versions of that in Sweden. So they've garnered the whole sort of audience in like Sweden, Germany area kind of thing. Yeah. So, and they're all getting into the 110s now. So they've DM'd me to get some parts. So we're doing a little collab, which helps me out with Ozminis over there. And also in future will help me out with hopefully the Tricky Moto page. Now they've got my foot in the door with those guys. So.
Yeah, I see that. That Tricky Moto page, I reckon that's a fucking sick idea. Like, just the little, even just like the little edits and stuff of other persons that love motorbikes and stuff, like it's so cool to watch. And just like, not only that, you're still being a little bit of a menace, which...
It's in my blood, man. It's in my blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Tricky Moto thing. I've always been, as you know, I've always been obsessed with wheelies. Like, I've always been obsessed with motorbikes, but wheelies have always been my thing. So
I noticed that. I remember one of the first times we hung out, like in ages, and we were riding, and I just ended up pretty much just like videoing you do monos at the end. Because you're like, I just want someone that can fucking ride properly next to me and just film me.
See how long so it's been a long time of me wanting all this stuff to happen. But yeah, the Tricky Moto, so I just thought, I'd start a incognito page that doesn't have a connection to me sort of thing, so I can post whatever I want, because I get you know, around here you get a lot of heat from the cops. The cops know who I am and stuff. So I had to start a page that it's like, none of it's connected to me. Like the email, like everything's all dodgy. So so I'm building that up now, and we're at 1,000 followers. I got one reel that I posted that's got 9,000 likes on it.
Oh,
and I've just clicked 1,000 followers. So if I build up on that algorithm, the sky's the limit with that one. And that's what I love doing. I love making content these days. So.
Yeah, that's also a big thing. Like, I'm so not into, or like not into it, but I don't know jack shit about the algorithms and all that. And I feel like you've really like picked up on that, and you know what you're doing with that, and you're putting the right stuff out there, and you're getting results. And how did you sort of figure that out? Or is there anything particular that you do?
Yeah, like I know a lot of tricks. I know a lot of tricks, and I hate revealing them, but I will.
Like the Daytona trick?
Yeah, the Daytona trick. You learn it by, honestly, I had this saying once, throw shit at the wall, see what sticks. Just hard work, just fucking posting shit, failing, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't. You post something, it gets fucking 20 likes. You post another video that sometimes you don't even know what you're posting, and you posted this one that I posted that's got the most likes, my 9,000 like video. I posted that at like 9:30 at night, and I wasn't even thinking about posting a video. I just had a video, and I was like, I'll post that, and I love this song that I posted, which I think is what made it go. But it's just, I don't know, trial and error gets you to figure out the algorithm. There's a few tricks that I can reveal to people. So the quality of the video is like the most important thing. If you post a shit quality video filmed with a potato, Instagram isn't going to share it to everyone. Yeah. The Instagram Reels share to a lot of people. So if you start off a video, say...
Are you using just iPhones, or you got a...
iPhone.
You're just all iPhone?
iPhone with a cracked screen at the moment. So fucking when I step my game up on that with the tricks that I know, hopefully we'll level up a little bit. But what I do is I film with the best camera on here, the 4K 60 thing. Do you know about that?
MPS,
Yeah, not many people know about that. That's a little trick.
Actually, Busy, my friend the photographer.
Yeah, Busy would know.
Yeah, he showed me all those little things.
So I film with that, clean my camera, start off really slow. So when Instagram realizes the video, it realizes that it's good quality straight away. So it uploads your whole video as quality. So I start off my reels really slow. Yeah. And then that's how you sort of get, and then you can change your clips. You know, I'll start off with a clip going along a bike, and then I'll switch with a beat to doing a wheelie or whatever, and the whole thing will be uploaded in good quality. You got to pick a good song that people are going to save. Ultimately, you want people to save your video, comment on your video, and share your video to their story. Likes don't really matter. They're a small percentage, but you want people to mainly save your video. Yeah, really. So if you bang things together really well, people watch that and they go, I want to make something like that.
There's definitely videos that I've been like, fuck, that's sick, I want to watch that again later, so I'll save it to the archives. Exactly. Even if I don't even watch it ever again, like, at least it's done. And
it's tucked away, and it's there if you want it. Yep.
And I know a big thing as well is like what you sort of touched on before is when you said it took you however long to get to 1,000 followers. I feel like a lot of people will sort of give up, not really give up, but they'll slow the content down, or they'll like sort of give up a little bit because it's taking them so long to get that 1,000. But it's the same as like working out, training and everything. Like you put all this effort in and then you don't see the results, but the big results are right around the corner. So you just got to keep pushing.
Oh yeah, So
that's obviously what happened to you. You got to nearly 1,000, took ages, but you were already totally committed. And then after that, it just obviously boosted for you.
Yeah, well, the thing is with stuff like that, if you really enjoy what you're doing, you're just going to do it anyway. So with the Tricky Moto thing, I wouldn't care if I got 10 likes a video and I had 10 followers, man. If those 10 people enjoyed it, I'd just keep doing it, and I'm going to keep doing it anyway. So that's mainly the most important thing. You've got to really enjoy what you're doing. Like sometimes I sit there after a day's ride and I'm making the videos and I'm having the best time in the world, just sitting there making that video. And when I post it, I have no nerves because I really want to post this video and I'm stoked with what I've made in regards to me showing maybe my family later on or whatnot. So
yeah, 100%.
If you really enjoy the content you're making, that's kind of what the goal is. And then you don't have to worry about, you don't necessarily care about your following and all that. But yeah, people do give up. If they're not that interested in it, they will give up at a certain point. But this is what I want to do, so I'll just keep doing it. Yeah,
well, I can pretty much put some of my thanks towards you because I've got a few friends that are like yourself that before me sort of showed me the way, or not really showed me the way, but showed me that all I got to do is just fucking do it. Yeah. And not only that, just find that one thing that you love. And I've always been the type of person that's been like, good at lots of things, but I'm great at nothing, and like also my thoughts.
Yeah.
And I've always found it really hard to find something that I've really, really loved. And then
It's hard.
I finally just from listening to lots of podcasts and stuff, I just learned so many life lessons, and it sort of just ticked over in my mind. And then after that, I was like, fuck it. All my boys are stepping out of the thing and trying their own thing, and it sort of pushed me to do that as well. So thanks for that, 100%.
Oh, no dramas, bro. No, inspiring people is one of the best feelings in the world. One saying that got said to me once, and it applies to so many different things, and it's kind of how I operate. You don't have to be great at the start, but you have to start to be great.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will sit there and they'll try and figure out, I've got to get this right, I've got to get that right, I've got to get that right, I've got to get that right. And I've got to get 20 more things right before I start. But I will have an idea, and before I've even got the first thing right, I'll just start doing it.
Yeah.
And you're already 20 steps ahead of the person that's sitting there trying to figure it out, because more or less you're going to fail every single thing you thought anyway, because everything you do, it's always different to how you think. So, yeah.
Yeah, I know that you used to always, you've always ridden mini bikes, but I know you used to ride big bikes as well. Did you start off riding bigger bikes and then sort of just go to mini bikes, or?
Yeah, good question.
Nah,
I started like when we were younger, we had zero money. Like mum and dad were poor as. But I remember I came home from school one day. I was in prep, and Dad had gone and got a QR50 for us. Yeah, like a little $1,500 50, or whatever. Would have been way cheaper back then. It was probably a $500 bike. And that's what got me obsessed with motorbikes. So he got us that bike, and I was obsessed with that for.
Were you popping monos on that?
Nah, not quite. No, I wasn't yet. So he got us that bike, and then sadly that bike got stolen off us about a year later.
That's just the reality of growing up in Frankston.
Growing up in the hood, brother. Got stolen. Still to this day, don't know what happened with it. And then after that, we couldn't afford a motorbike until I was 14. So I didn't get my next motorbike till I was 14. So in between those years is when my whole passion for motorbikes grew. Yeah. Always looking at people with motorbikes, always obsessed with people with motorbikes. Very jealous of anyone that had a bike. We used to ride it down the reserve near our house, which is covered by Penlink now. It's no longer there, which sucks. But we used to ride down there in our pushies and wait for people to rock up and then ask to ride their bikes. Yeah. Every single person. And then, we got our next motorbike at 14. I stacked that, chopped one of my fingers off. Was off for a while.
Well, for starters, what was the first bike? I mean, the bike that you got at 14?
It was a shitty Chinese. It was like a thumbster. Yeah, it was a bad Chinese bike. As I said, we had no money. Yeah. So Dad did whatever he could to, give us whatever, and I was very grateful for that. And then, so I had that stack.
How'd you chop the finger off?
Yeah, just riding in a paddock, and my trademark stack is hitting a pole. I don't know why, but I get all G'd up and I just fucking see tunnel vision, and I seem to miss the fucking big pole in the way. So I hit a pole, broke my right ankle, and then blew the top of my thumb off. So that was my first big accident.
Did that deter you at all?
Not in the slightest. Still doesn't deter me. I've chopped another finger off since, multiple broken bones. I'll never change. It's just motorbikes is exactly what I want to do for my whole life. So
you got a bone break count?
About 15 to 20. Yeah, somewhere between 15 and 20. Not including, I broke every bone in my foot at one point. So do the math. There's probably I don't know how many, but there's definitely more than 20 in there. It's a lot. It's a lot. But then I fucked that bike up when I stacked that, destroyed it, that thing's gone. So I didn't and then Dad got a payout when I was 16 or something, and bought me a KX250F, my first big bike. Yeah. And then, to go back to your question, I've been obsessed with all motorbikes my whole life. Had that big bike for a while, had a few stacks on that too.
The KX?
That was my big stack on that one.
Was it an F? Was it 2-stroke or 4-stroke?
4-stroke, yeah, KX250F. That was my big stack on that. We'll get into that as well. But after the big bikes is when I fell in love with the mini bikes, when I started working. I'd go to work every day, 14, 15, 16, however old I was, and then I'd come home from work, and then rather than start drinking or fucking anything like that, I'd hop on my mini bike because, mini bikes, I could afford a mini bike as soon as I started working. It was the first thing I bought.
Yeah.
And then I'd ride down the Penlink Trail and then go into the reserve every single day after work, and I'd wheelie the whole way down there, like just constantly wheeling.
Where's this, sorry?
So in Frankston, from my mum's house, I'd turn onto Penlink on the trail, on the foot trail, and it's like a 3 or 4K ride down to the bush.
Yeah, I know.
So during now, I'm not going to sit there fucking just riding straight. I'm going to
That's where I was filming you,
yeah. So I was, I just wheelie the whole way there. Like I just fucking practice wheeling.
Did you ever flip it or land on the concrete?
I'll tell you what, I've always known the back brake, and I've never had a bad flip.
Yeah.
And I'd fucking touch wood because, I don't know, I'd play the game well enough that I just don't flip. I have the odd flip. If you're not flipping, you're not trying hard enough. So I have the odd one, but I've never had a bad flip stack. If I ever do go too far, it's when I'm standing on top of the seat with no rear brake and there's all boys around and shit and I'm trying to show off. And I remember the last stack I had was standing on top of the seat, third gear pinned, doing 50 Ks or something in front of like 30 guys, and then I stacked. But that's my most memorable one, just off doing wheelies. For the most part, I know to tap the back brake and just go straight back down.
Yeah, well, at least with the mini bikes, it's a lot easier to come off than it is the big bike. Yeah. And I know once you've had a few crashes, you sort of learn a little bit somewhat how to fall.
Yep, definitely.
Especially if it's like in mono, and like you can learn to obviously put your feet back on the ground, or just ghosty the bike or something. Yep. Put yourself first, let the bike go.
That's exactly what I did for that stack. Yeah, I remember doing it. I came back 1, 2 legs and then rolled into it, and then professional stacker as well. You become a professional stuntman at a certain point riding motorbikes.
Did your brothers and your dad and stuff ride, or was it just you that really got into it?
To be honest, Jack used to like it when we were younger. My younger brother Jack, he doesn't really like it as much as. He definitely doesn't like it nowhere near as much as I do. But we all grew up riding. My older brother's still got a motorbike now, but I'm obsessed with them. Those guys, they aren't really that obsessed with them. So it's more so me that's had the dire passion for motorbikes my whole life.
Was your dad always like pushing for it as well? Obviously, as much as he could. It seems though he bought you a bike and stuff like that.
He did everything he always could. Took us riding as much as he could within his power. He always did every single thing he could to. But he was more so focused on. He loved footy and all that. So that my footy career sort of blends into this story a little bit as well. So he was kind of a lot more focused on that. So
well, obviously I knew that your dad was my footy coach and used to come up and play with me as well, so I knew your dad a fair bit, and he was a fucking real good bloke. So obviously he is now passed away, so what inspirations and motivations did you get from him? I know, like, honestly, I know he was known as like a really good bloke and really respected, so I know that I'm sure you got lots of good qualities and motivations, inspirations from him, and now that he is gone, I'm sure he'd surely be super proud of you. And
thanks, man.
What do you reckon you got from him? How's it affected you now that he's gone? Because I'm sure it's been really hard.
Dad brought us all up with good values. Always to respect women, to respect your elders, how to be a man. He taught us all the good qualities and all that. Coaching me in footy, in my last year of footy, that was a blessing. And then him passing away sort of makes you fast track to becoming a man. So whatever you've got left in your manhood, fuck that off, and you're straight away you're at the pinnacle, like straight away, like you're the man of the family now. It's hard, I no longer have anyone to ask questions to, like, Dad, what did you mess up doing this? Dad, what did you do in this situation? I don't have that anymore, so. You
really see him as pretty sort of superheroes when you're younger.
Yeah, he's my favourite person in the entire world. He always will be, I
could sort of say one thing that I've realised with my parents, that I always thought my parents were like superheroes and they had the answers for everything, like you said. Like, it would have really been hard not to have him to ask questions and stuff, but I reckon when I was in a really bad place myself and I needed my mum to come to court with me, and I hadn't told her anything, and it was sort of the point where I had to come clean and tell my mum everything.
Yeah.
And it was the first time in my life where I asked my mum for help, and she's like, Lewis, I can't help you. And then from that moment on, that sort of solidified to me that my parents, they're not superheroes, they're just there to help and guide you. And it's like,
there's a certain point where they tell you that, you know, you're sort of out here on your own kind of thing, and you gotta make your own way. Yeah, that was a tough realisation. Like, you know, death's a weird thing. He died when I was 20. I haven't even really come to terms with it yet. I'm 28 and I don't even know how to come to terms with it. You know, you just carry on and move on, and you take a different role in life. You know, I become a bit better of an older brother. I become a bit more better of a son to my mum.
Yeah.
It brings the rest of your family closer, and you just have the fondest memories of, like, you know, dad. Like,
you guys still have that same house?
Yeah, mum's still got the same house. Yeah, well, I don't think we'll ever get rid of that, because it's just, you know, stained with dad, you know, it's just dad's house, so I don't think we'll ever sell that. So, but yeah, with business wise, I don't know, like, his death didn't really inspire me in any way in business. It just sort of inspired me in life that, like, life's short, life's brutal. You don't know what's going to happen. Like, we didn't know he was going to die. Like, I got a fucking phone call at 6 a.m. one morning, like, you need to come to the hospital, your dad's passing away. And I just was fucking flabbergasted. It was just the worst call.
What was the cause or the reason?
I'll tell you after the podcast, but I won't say it online. But I got a call and had to go in there and literally just fucking had to see my old man, you know, take his last breath, bro, which is just fucking heavy as for anyone, especially a 20-year-old kid, and didn't know what to do. But, you know, you just fucking pick yourself up, and I'm just going to try and be the best man I can be, and hopefully he's proud of that. So
yeah, well, I definitely think that you've picked your game up since then, and you have definitely matured a lot. And I know this is just from me from the outside looking in, but I don't know whether you want to talk about it or not either, but I know that you're in a long-time relationship, and I know that I feel personally that when that ended, that's when you sort of kicked it up a gear and started, like, doing the Ozminis and stuff. Do you think that was a factor that I don't know, I don't want to say I don't want to say toxic relationship or anything, but I don't know exactly the ins and outs, but do you think that getting out of that relationship sort of pushed you?
Yeah, definitely. So for anyone that doesn't know, I was in a relationship for 10 years, from 16 to 26. I was with a lovely girl. I won't say anything bad about her. She was awesome. We just kind of, it's weird being from someone from 16 to 26, you know, it's your whole youth.
Yeah.
So yeah, we spent a whole lot of time together. We learned a lot about love and all that, but then ultimately it just fell out of love kind of thing through whatever. COVID messed up with us a lot. But yeah, I always had this fire in me to do something else. I never really wanted to be someone that was on the clock all the time. Like, I kind of always knew that I was going to do something. So after the breakup, that was when I really sunk my teeth into it and just started really, really going for it. Had you started the Facebook page or anything at this stage? Yep, so I had the Facebook page going. I also had an Instagram going, which is the Ozminis Instagram, which started out as I just would share photos of 110s.
Motorbikes.
It wasn't even meant to be Ozminis, but I would just share it for the love of it. It comes back down to being a passion. I just did it for free almost at the start, not knowing what it was going to turn into. And that one, so yeah, I was already running a few social medias just out of the passion. And then, started digging my heels in, changed the Instagram over. And the breakup helped. It helped because, I don't know, I had nothing else to do. I was going to the gym, and then other than that, I just wanted to work my ass off. I felt like I didn't feel like I'd lost time, but like I was 26 and I was like, wow, I really want to do something here, and I feel like I'm behind a little bit, and there was work to do, so I just got straight into it and just started building it up.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people are only sort of coming to realisation now. Like, I feel like I'm sort of only just coming to realisation now, and I'm 30. So obviously the earlier you do it, can do it, the better. But some people everyone goes through life differently and at different stages. But It is what it is when it comes to that.
On different timelines. Yeah,
And I know we grew up in a pretty wild, like Frankston's pretty wild, like pretty alcohol, drugs. It's all been pretty. I definitely grew up right in the midst of it. Was that definitely something that happened to you?
Oh yeah. You know, you grow up in Franga. I was top food court, Franga train station, Hungry Zach's. You know, hanging out the front of there. I was full of that. You know, you just end up there if you want to network, you want to meet people. That was where you ended up. And you know, year 10, you just hop on the bus straight after school, go to Franga. That ultimately leads to going to parties, figuring out about parties, and it ultimately end up doing drugs and shit, and you get into the scene very young in Frankston. Frankston is a very hectic place to grow up, especially when we were growing up. It's a bit more tame now. I think it's a bit more tame now. I guess you still see like a bit going on there. I guess we don't see it.
We just don't know because we're not in that generation anymore. It's a whole
it was in the thick of that when I was younger and stuff. So, but yeah, all of it just ends up making you who you are to this day. So I'm glad all that shit happened. So
yeah, are you still dabbling? Do you smoke weed or anything? Because I know like I'm a bit of a weed advocate. I love smoking weed. So with partying, I try not to do it as much as I have done in previous, because you got to be sharp. It's time consuming now. Like you don't. Yeah, the fun part's fun, but the next day and that's just it's just not. It's not worth it.
You party for one night when you're 28, and you regret it for 5 days after.
Yeah.
So and it gets longer and longer the older you get. So these days I try to space apart in between innings.
Yeah.
Which is the better way to do it as you get older. But with weed, I'm very vocal about smoking weed. I fucking reckon everyone should smoke weed, and I think you agree as well. You know, some of the highest people in the world, Joe Rogan, all those guys.
Snoop Dogg, Wiz Khalifa.
Snoop Dogg, Wiz Khalifa, they all smoke weed. There's a weird stigma around weed that it, if you overuse it like anything else, of course
everything is good in moderation.
Of course it's going to mess with you. Yeah. Also, people mix it 50-50 with tobacco as well, which is such a bad thing. Like, I smoke pretty much green, which is the best way to do it. You get the psychedelic experience, you get the muscle relaxing experience, open-minded, you think about things that you never usually think about. I've done heaps of successful shit while I'm high, man.
Yeah, so have I.
It opens new passages in your brain and stuff, as long as you don't overdo it. When I say that, I'm one of the most least weed smokers you'll ever meet. Like I have fuck all weed. So usually it's maybe a couple of tokes of a joint at night. And if I'm, around other people that are doing it, I'll smoke a little bit more, get a little bit high, talk a bit of shit. But I'd tell anyone, I don't care who it is, like, I'd say I smoke weed in front of a court. Like, I don't care. I reckon it's the most stupidest. If anyone still hates on weed, they're backwards,
they just don't know anything about it.
They're a couple of years behind, so.
Yeah, well, I can say for myself, I'm pretty aggressive, sort of angry, just like in my mind, just like sort of generally, and that completely changes that. So like, it's good because during the day, I can go hard, get my shit done. I'm aggressive about it, and I pursue everything. Like, I'm not lazy. I'd go to the gym, do all that shit, and then sort of at the end of the day, I can smoke, and then it chills me out like a motherfucker. Yeah. And not only that, it plateaus my whole mind out. Like, so during the day, I'm just like, yes, let's do this, let's go. And then as soon as I do it, I'm like, I'm real timid. Like, even about starting this podcast, when I'm high and stuff, I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. It makes me away. Like, it just sort of in doing it at the right times. It really helps me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I do. Yeah. So I've always had a really, really rampant mind. So like, if I'm sober all the time, my mind goes and goes. And I remember when I was 16, 17, 18. I would just sit there at night up until 1 o'clock at night, even though I was dead tired, and I'd just be thinking, ideas. And you look back and there's just too much, it's processing too much information, trying to get too much done at one point, which is a big problem of mine as well. I try to do way too many things at once. Like, I'll try and do I'll do 10 different things at once.
Yeah, you just
and
get
I'll
all
do-
the ideas and you just get excited.
and I'll
just
do
like,
one
let's
bit
go.
of that, one bit of that, one bit of that, come back, one bit of that, one bit of that,
Yeah.
and I'm like, wow, I just need to chill out, focus on that, focus on that, focus on that. So that's where weed helps me out. When I finally finish doing all my stuff, I can go and relax and lay down and be like, cool, my stuff's done. If I think of one more thing, man, I'm straight back up and I've got to do
Yeah.
it. But then once I know I've done everything, when I've done my list for the day or whatever, I can smoke a bit of weed and I can let my mind go into a different state. And a lot of people do that through drinking alcohol. They'll sit there and smash a slab of beers at night. I'd rather have a couple of tokes on a joint,
That's the
open
thing
my
with
mind
drinking,
a
it's
little
hard
bit,
to stop.
get a bit relaxy and chill the fuck out, you know?
Yeah. What about psychedelics? Did you dive into that?
I've dived into that, yeah.
Have you got any crazy stories? Maybe acid, mushies, ketamine?
Yes, depends how deep we want to go, but with psychedelics, I highly recommend psychedelics to anyone. Psychedelics open you up to things that you would have. You've done psychedelics, yeah?
Yeah, I've done
You've done it
everything.
all? You've seen the elves, you've seen everything. So psychedelics open you up.
Seen an elf, took me on a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. The first time I did acid, I was at Maitreya and my friend Chase.
What's Maitreya? Is that
a bush stuff.
a bush stuff? That's why
friend-
I've actually never been to a bush stuff, and hopefully one day
Oh,
we
they're
can go to
bomb,
one.
dude.
Take
They're
me to
bomb.
one, bro.
They're bomb. I'm going through the dance floor and my friend Chase Castles. You know Chase Castles?
I know of him, yeah.
Bombs, he goes, you want an acid tab? And I was like, I had no idea. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm in the bush for 4 days, fuck, chuck it here.
Probably the best place to do it.
Yeah, so he puts it in my mouth and then I keep walking, go about my business. Anyway, he comes back to the campsite 3 hours later and goes, how'd that acid tab go? And I completely forgot about it. And as soon as he said that, I fucking realised, holy fuck, I'm tripping on acid. It made a whole lot of sense. You know, I was cocktailed, so I didn't know what was going on. And I started looking up at the clouds and I've sprinted into my tent because I started seeing faces and shit in the clouds. I'd never seen anything like it before. And that was my first experience with psychedelics. Realised how mind-altering they are.
Yeah.
But since then, you know, this isn't a flex or anything, but I've done acid probably 20 times. I've done DMT, which, you know, is like one of the forbidden things. Most people know about it, but DMT I've probably done over 40 times, I reckon. And
You want to explain to everyone what that does?
I've tried, man. It's very hard
or
to
even like if you can explain your or you can explain if you explain your first experience, and then I can sort of explain my first experience, maybe.
So what DMT does is, I reckon DMT shows you like the geometrics of, you know, shows you the mass of existence, of consciousness. It shows you literally what's going on right now. Like, this table exists, but like, what is it? Like, you know, we're in it. This is a square tube of space, and like, this is air and that's wood. And like, when you do DMT, it gets you out of all that and out of your body and stuff, and you kind of see the infinite reality of existence.
Everything's
and matter.
sort of one.
And you kind of, if you close your eyes, it's almost like one of those paintings where you zoom in on a guy's face, and then in his eyeball there's a car, and then they zoom in on that, and then there's a wheel, and then there's a fridge, and then the fridge opens, and then you go to a beer, and it's never ending, which is a weird, overwhelming experience. But
A lot of people have said that once they do it, they thought they were dying.
it's the dying. It's almost an impending doom feeling going into that constant. It's a weird feeling, man. It's like constantly. It's like you're trying to focus on something. It's like, nah, you're not there. You're not there. You're not there, and you just keep going. So the first time I did DMT, I was out at a friend's house, and we did it, and it just smacked me in the face straight away. Like, smacked me in the face, and I was overwhelmed and whatnot. And he goes, stand up. and
That's just what you heard.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And he picks me up and he goes, look outside. And I look outside and I seen a tree, bro, and I've told this story so many times. I seen a tree, and the first time ever I saw the energy come up out of the earth into the tree, and I see the tree sort of dribbles it back to the earth. And I saw that a tree was alive for the first time.
Yeah.
Which was flabbergasting. I never knew anything of that sort. Been told so much different shit growing up, but when I saw it, I was like, okay, that's reality. Like it's like someone punches you in the face and goes, nah, this is reality.
Yeah.
So that was the first time I did it. And then, you know, I've done it I've done it 40 plus times since then. We bought 5 grams of DMT at this Doof once and smoked the whole lot in one night. And that was the most I went deep into that realm. And when I went into that realm, you see the gods. It's like this shape of like a face. It's almost like what I think it is. It's the blueprints that makes us human. Like, so you're basically looking at a mirror image of like what consciousness does to make us into a human shape. Because who decides what shape we are? There's got to be some kind of blueprint somewhere. So that's what you see, and you fold into this reality, man. You're in a geometrical world of just like, just crazy shit going on. And psychedelics are fucking amazing. So I highly recommend them to anyone in a safe environment and a safe amount.
Yeah.
And that's taught me a lot about life, bro, and I've applied a lot of it to business, knowing that.
Yeah, it really does. It puts, sometimes it can really put things in perspective, and I've heard of it being actually like life altering to some people. And I know for a fact now that I'm pretty sober myself, like now, honestly, I would rather take like half an acid tab when, to say if like we're going camping or whatever, I'd rather take, instead of like getting fucked up on cocaine or whatever you're going to take, I'd rather honestly just during the day take half an acid tab and then ride that wave out for 5-6 hours and just be laughing and just being in a really happy mood, like being genuinely happy, being out in the open, like I can still function properly and stuff, just seeing a little bit of things, and then it'll just cleanly wear off and I'll be completely sober again. I can drive home, I can do whatever, you know what I mean? And I still just had an amazing 6 hours.
Yeah.
And there's no repercussions like those dirty other drugs.
Yeah.
And that's the main, I still don't do it very often, but like I do. And I way prefer to do those, and I would way prefer like to tell people. And a lot of people are scared to do that because like it changed. Like a lot of other drugs, it doesn't change your vision, but with this, it's sort of you see life in a different perspective.
Yep.
And a lot of people are too scared to even give that a go. But each to their own.
It's confronting for a lot of people. I reckon that the more open and honest you are as a human in general, like the more comfortable you are on psychedelics. Like if you have this front of like, well, I'm better than everyone, or fucking, you know, you think you're of a higher status than what you are. If you do psychedelics, you're going to get brought back to ground straight away.
Yeah,
and those people that are already grounded and like don't try to be something they're not, they're okay with psychedelics.
Yeah.
And then when you come off of psychedelics, there's no come down, but you're almost like, it's almost like you've had a fucking service, like a fucking mechanic, like a human mechanic. Like you're like, fuck, I feel clean, your soul feels
cleansed
clean.
a little bit.
Yeah, you got some new information that you're just going to stick with you for a little bit. And it's good.
And especially, like we said, growing up in Frankston, it wasn't hard to get much. It was literally just, it was there. Like it was happening whether...
Oh, you had choices.
Yeah, there was literally just happening in front of you, and you were either coming on for the ride or you ain't doing it. And I know that we've changed a lot since then, and just in life in general. And what do you reckon is probably the biggest thing that you've learned since probably been turning 18? Because 18-year-old Brett Jordan and 28-year-old Brett Jordan are not obviously the same person.
Good question. What's the biggest thing I've learned? Honestly, to pick one thing, it would be, God, I don't know, get busy doing what you want to do, or you're going to be busy not doing what you not want to do.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense or not, but that's kind of the biggest, if I was to pick one thing, it's hard to pick one thing, but I have this thing that goes on.
It is your one thing. This is your one thing.
Yeah.
Like you might have other things, but this is your one thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Like my biggest lesson is, do whatever, do you know what? Do whatever the fuck you want to do and do it good. That's my biggest lesson since I turned 18. When I was 18, I was like, fuck, I'll do whatever, fucking party, be a sick cunt, all this shit.
Yeah.
But now that I'm mature, 28, and I've been through what I've been through, it's just like, you know, if you want to do something in life, just do it. Just fucking don't even think about it. Just fucking start doing it, kind of thing. That's probably the biggest thing I've learned since. It's hard to answer that question though.
A lot of big thing for me, and I'm sure with a lot of other people as well, is I never thought I was like this, but I've only recently realised that I always thought I was like, I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. But at the end of the day, the only reason I didn't start this podcast was because I was worried about what other people would think. And I don't know if it had anything to do with what you were doing or whatever, but I
worry heaps about what other people think, but I'm working on it because...
Yeah. Because a lot of people say that they don't, but they do.
Every single person on the planet cares what other people think.
Yeah.
They care. But the thing you got to realise is, and the thing that I've realised recently, is no one gives a shit.
People love people doing themselves as well.
No one cares if you fail, really, and it's like that's a really liberating realisation. Like you know, when you look at a post. Can you tell me the last post that you saw that didn't get likes?
No.
You know, you scroll past it, you go, oh, that person didn't get likes. It's like, you just scroll past it and you care about the next thing kind of thing. But someone would sit there and be like, oh, fuck, my post didn't get likes. I'm not going to post again for 6 months.
Yeah.
You just keep going and like, no one really cares. It's a bit of a sad realisation, but it's also a liberating realisation that like, you just do what you want to do, post what you want to post, do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And if you fail, no one really cares at the end of the day anyway. Do you know what? No one even really cares if you succeed until you get to a good level and they have to give you the credit kind of thing. So it's, you know, it's free. It's a good liberating thing realising that. So.
Yeah, it is definitely just growing up in general, just realising like I used to always dwell on regrets, and I feel like I have zero regrets now because I wouldn't be the person that I am today without all those mistakes, all those things like that. So I know that everything that I do now, as long as you learn from things the mistakes, I feel like you shouldn't have any regrets. But do you have any big regrets or what's your biggest mistake that you've made, whether it's business or life or? Yeah,
definitely. Biggest mistake I ever made was when I was 16. We just won the grand final in footy the year before.
Kringle Bulls rep.
Kringle Bulls, yeah. Dad was coach. I won the best and fairest.
Obviously wasn't playing that year.
Yeah, fuck. Won it by far. We won the grand final that 16s year, and we were in the gold division, which was the shitter division, and then there was blue division, which was the fucking hoo-ha division. So Langy won the 16 blue division grand final, we won, and Kringle won the 16 gold division grand final. Yeah. So then the first game of under 18s, we were versus Langy, Kringle versus Langy. Yeah. So it was like the shit league played the top league, both grand final winners. So we came out and I remember in the first 30 seconds we kicked the goal. Our centre kicked it to me, I kicked it to the forward, we got a goal straight away. Anyway, we ended up winning that game. We beat the top.
Is this round one?
Round one of under 18s, yep. So that night, and here's where my worst decision of my life came about, and I would urge people to think about things when something like this happens. So that night, I was riding my motorbike to parties and shit, thinking that I was super cool. So that night...
You probably were a sick cunt, to be honest, back in the day. At that time, everybody... You think you are, but that's sort of what is at the time. Just dumb, reckless shit when you're young.
Oh, well, yeah, you know. So that night, I took my bike out. So Mum and Dad went to my cousin's engagement party. So me and Jack were fucking around, my little brother, and we had some girls come over. And then I got the bike out in front of the girls to show off, rode down to Ballon Park. That night we beat these guys in footy. My footy career was going really well. So I'll get into that a little bit more. But that night, rode into Ballon Park, ran out of fuel, popped a tyre. So the universe was looking after me. It nearly stopped me twice, and I still rode with the popped tyre. Got a friend to bring fuel down. Bang, pinned my bike straight into a pole, smashed my foot open, split it in half completely, chopped the top of my finger off, was in hospital for a month, and then ruined my whole footy career. So ever since I was a kid, I always kicked the footy before motorbikes. It was my number one passion before motorbikes. Every single day after school, I'd go to school, play footy at recess, play footy at lunch.
Was it your kicking foot that you broke?
My bad foot, but I could kick both feet because it was always practice. I always practice it. So I could kick both feet at 16, I was on a good path for footy. I don't even know where my footy career was going to go, and that's my biggest regret in life.
Yeah.
So I had that bad accident, it's destroyed my whole footy career. And everything up to that, leading up to that, was always motorbikes, but I didn't have a motorbike, so I always played footy the whole way. So, and I just started really getting good when I had my growth spurt, got a bit taller, got a bit thinner, could run faster. And then, yeah, completely destroyed my whole footy career in one night through one stupid decision through fractions of a millimetre of hitting this pole. Yeah. And that's the biggest regret, and I'll regret that until
How long was the recovery of that?
I was in hospital for a month. And then it was 6 months until I was walking properly again and stuff, and it was a big ordeal, yeah.
So how come you were in hospital for so long? So there's operations.
7 operations on my foot.
Jesus. How is it now?
It's fucked. Doesn't look like a normal foot, but it operates and I can walk and stuff. So
you can still do monos.
Yeah, I can still do wheelies, so that's fine. Yeah. But yeah, 7 operations. A lot of different. I had to take a chunk out of my leg to sit on top of my foot, so that took a while to sit, and they had to make sure it survived and stuff, and yeah, skin grafts everywhere and whatnot.
Is that your biggest crash on a dirt bike?
Yeah, biggest crash I ever had. Yeah. But I also have a good story while I was in hospital, which is kind of a bit of a cool story about being younger. While I was in hospital,
did you fuck the nurse?
Nearly.
Oh,
didn't quite bang a nurse, but I did bang a chick in hospital.
Oh, what the fuck?
As a patient, which, not many people can say that. So I had a catheter in my dick for 2 weeks.
How did that work?
It's fucking horrible, man. You never want to get a catheter in your dick.
That hurts me just
It just drains you, You always feel like you need a piss. And
it'll feel like you're being fucking held around the throat 24/7. Like,
yeah.
If like someone grabs that thing, you're just like,
yeah. So you always feel like you need a piss, and you can never feel like you don't need a piss. So constantly feel like you need a piss, and they'll be like, oh yeah, your bag's full, whatever, you've pissed, and it's like, fuck, I don't know. Anyway, they pull that out after 2 weeks, and you don't realise you've probably never gone 2 weeks without pulling. You've probably never gone and all you guys have probably never gone 2 weeks without pulling your dick. So anyway, this is the first time I've done 2 weeks without pulling my dick. About a week goes by, all my scars repair and shit from the catheter getting pulled out because it makes you bleed and shit. And every nurse that walks in, I'm barring up, fat, fucking, it doesn't matter. Old, I'm barring up. So this chick comes in.
Middle-aged bloke, bar up.
I won't name her, lovely girl, I was seeing her at the time. And she starts fucking sucking me off because I was fucking horny. Sucks me off for about fucking 10 seconds. I was nearly ready to go. And she goes, I'm horny as fuck. And I was like, well, fucking, we're in hospital, man. Like, no doors, like, locked or anything. I was like, hop on. So she gets on top of me, we start fucking in the hospital, bro. And yeah, I lasted maybe 20 pumps. And trust me, it was hard. I lasted maybe 20 pumps and I just blew straight away and fucking, yeah.
You obviously didn't get caught?
No, we didn't get caught, no. bit of a, I don't know, it's a funny story to tell though. It's a cool story to tell.
Yeah, I've been to hospital a few times and nobody came in to suck my dick. My mum came to say what up a few times, but
yeah, what up? Yeah.
That's about it. There's one thing I don't know if you, no, I don't know if you want to speak about it, but
ask me anyway. I'll see how we go.
There was one point in time when you were first starting Ozminis that I remember speaking to you online, and pretty much you were talking about like haters and stuff like this, and I remember you saying that a family member was like not, pretty much just being negative and pretty much being a hater towards your business and what you were doing, and like how much was it an impact on that? And like I know that you obviously push forward, but like just even haters in general, how has that affected you much at all? And like for starters, I also want to say, if you're getting hate, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
But I know that coming from someone like that, is that?
Yeah, people say some fucking weird shit. People say some really weird shit to you, yeah. Yeah, I don't really care that much. Like, I don't have that many haters. Like, I'm kind of operating in a way where I don't know, I don't really give people many reasons to hate me.
Yeah,
but you
it's
know,
just part of life.
people just still inevitably do that. But I look at haters the same way as I've always looked at negativity. It's just something's going on in their day, and they're
it's
not
on
happy
them.
with something, so they.
It's a good way to look at it.
They want to try and point it and direct it at someone else. So that's the way I've always looked at it, and yeah, that's the way I look at every bit of negativity. Even when I'm driving on the road, someone fucking toots you when you haven't done anything wrong. I used to get angry as, but I just don't even care anymore. It's like, man,
I'll fucking chase you home, cunt.
Sorry, yeah, it used to be like that. You know, I've had a few charges from road rage. Excuse me, but these days I just don't care that much. Yeah, I just don't have time to really think about haters or anything. Sometimes you get the odd DM here and there that's like something real distasteful, and like I just look at it and go, "Fuck, you must be having a bad day." And just carry on with what I'm doing. So,
but on the other hand, which has been really good to see, I've seen Ozminis and a few other mini bike brands like Thrash Minis and whatever I can't even remember what the other ones are, that you guys have been working together, and it's been like really good to see that you guys have come together and done that instead of like being rivals.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people do get jealous on each other, but ultimately when people do what you guys are doing and coming together, making content together, just even being friends and homies and like helping each other out with like sales and all that shit, like that is the best thing that you could possibly do. That's how you build a community, and that's how the way that life should be. All businesses should be run. Every business, I personally, I think that everyone should do that. Everyone should work together. And how good has that been, like being able to, are you good friends with those other guys or?
yeah, for sure. Like, there's a saying.
There's no beef or tension. It seems like it's all pretty friendly.
There's this thing that happens with rivalry and competitiveness, and everyone thinks that there's like a shortage of success, but there's no shortage of success. Like the best thing to do is to boost that person up. You boost them up. They're from around your area. They're associated with you. If they get big, you get big, kind of thing. So
yeah,
I realised that a long time ago. I try to support everyone wherever I can. Can't always just be fucking fanboying everyone, but I try to support everyone wherever I can. And especially with Thrash Minis in particular, Ozminis and Thrash Minis very tight with each other. I get along with Josh, the owner of Thrash, really, really well. And we've got some big things coming up. Me and him put our heads together, and you know we can cook up a good feed in our heads.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's what I also wanted to ask if you guys got some future plans that you could. Anything that you can say?
Yeah, we've got. So what we're working on now is, and everyone should sort of stay tuned for all this shit. We got the next thing that's happening in the 110 scene here. Everyone's about 110s at the moment. Like it's really popping off at the moment. But what we're missing is like a track and like an event. So we want to do a 110 cup.
That's what Area 51.
Area 51, like what I did in Queensland recently.
Yeah, I was spewing. I didn't go to that.
Fucking, it was awesome. Bomb. Shout out Area 51. They throw a good party out there, and that's what we want to do now.
I was even in Queensland. I can't remember. I was doing something that weekend, and I just didn't go. But that's the thing. They had like.
Well, yeah, it's right near your house.
Yeah, by the sounds of it, they had like freestyle riders there or mini bike riders, and I'm neither of those. I'm just like riding.
Bro.
I just like riding track and shit, but apparently all those jumps were huge.
Yeah, bro. They have like a full freestyle pad, like a track that's designed for freestyle. It's like a free ride compound. And they were all throwing down, man. Mad event.
Even just to go there and watch would be gnarly.
Yeah, you can just rock up and watch. Trust me, they're all awesome people.
I seen that you won something there as well.
I came second, but I was the people's champion. So the beer can, hold on, I'll tell the full story. The beer can relay on the 110s was the best event of the whole weekend. So everyone loves watching, freestyle riding's fucking sick.
Yeah.
But when everyone's riding 110s, mini bikes, especially thrown in with
fun.
sculling beers and shit. I was sculling White Claws.
Yeah, so tell what was the race?
You had to do a lap, scull a White Claw and do another lap. So I was the only guy that did all 5 races. So I reckon I came first.
What do you mean you did? So you did 5 races and was like best at like?
Well, yeah. Well, it started off as 1 race. And fucking it ended up being 5 because people kept coming in.
Looks like it was getting pretty sloppy out there. It was raining and
it was belting down the whole time. It was riding through fucking mud the whole time. It was fucked. I couldn't get traction or anything. So I'd done the first race, and I think there was 2 heats. Originally there was 1 or 2 heats. So I did the first race, I can't remember what I came. I can't remember what I came the whole time, but I was up there every single race. I won a couple of them.
Yeah.
Sculling drinks in between. So by the third and fourth race,
You're blind.
I was fucking half cut. And then as I would finish a race, thinking it was the last race, there was the guys on the side of the pit. There's photos of me doing and shit, tipping beers off the side, and I got my helmet up, and I'm sculling beers, thinking it's all over. And then they go, come back, another race, because more people would come down seeing the races, and they'd be like, I want to race, I want to race.
How big was the track? How what do you reckon? It was like a minute?
Decent sized track, yeah, about a minute, minute and a half, yeah. Oh, yeah, in between a minute and a half.
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, I was fucking smashed, yeah. And the guy that beat me, I came second overall. So the guy that beat me, he was a lot lighter than me, and his bike was a lot lower, so mine was jacked up, you know, like for good dry conditions, but he was lower to the ground, and I weigh 85 kilos. This dude probably weighed fucking 60. 50.
You weigh 85 kilos?
Yeah.
I weigh like 85 kilos.
No, you don't.
I swear to God, I weighed myself yesterday. I was like 86 and a half.
Really? I'm thick. I don't know.
I've lost a bit of weight lately, but still.
But he beat me through being lighter, I reckon, because he got more traction through all that and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I didn't really care that much. It was all about the show.
It was fun.
It was all about putting on the show, and we all put on the maddest show, and they reckon we...
Yeah, I seen, would you snap your bars or something?
Yeah, well, I tried to flip my bike over the ramp. Had no traction going up the up ramp, yoinked it, and it went and landed right on the bar, bent him straight down. And that was about the third race.
Were you selling shit there, or like selling parts and stuff?
We set up a stall up there, but it was a lot unorganised. Like, I flew up, so it wasn't as organised as what I would have liked it. So next time we go up there, it'll be a whole lot better. But
yeah, well, next time if you need help with anything, let me know, bro. I would love to go, and I'll be happy to help out.
Yeah, sweet. Sounds good. We'd love to do more shit down here anyway, though. We'd like to get something going on down here. So that's the next thing going on with the 110 scene down here, and that's what we got in the works. And you know, we've also got a couple of parts.
Do you want to buy a property and do that, or do you want to? What?
Nah, we'll start off at a track, I reckon. We'll start off with a track, and then eventually
buy a property and put a track on it.
The goal might be that, yeah. The goal might end up being that, yeah.
Because there is no mini bike tracks, is there really? Like there's
nothing around here.
There's Ride Park at Parwin. They've got like small.
Too far away though. We're trying to open up Frankston again.
Yeah.
Frankston track's been closed for 7 years now.
I'm pretty sure they can't open that again.
Through deaths and whatnot that have been there. Yeah. We're working it out.
That was a sick track as well. Like, and it's so annoying, especially because obviously I live in Gold Coast now, and I have to if I want to ride, I have to drive like hour and a half plus. Like, it's so annoying. Like, there is a track that's close, but they're only open on Saturday, and they shut pretty early, and like sometimes I can't get there, but It is annoying as hell. But what about looking around here? You got about 10 bikes in here. Which is have you got a favourite build that you've done?
Right there.
This one right here.
Either this one or...
It is fucking fresh as fuck. I was honestly looking at that before, and I was like, that one looks nicer than yours.
Shout out Nick Tobes, he'll love this. That one, or there's this white bike that I built for Aiden Roberts, and we did a full bike strip, painted the frame and everything. The first time I've ever really pulled a bike completely apart. Do you know what? This is equal with that white bike that I built, which is our most liked post on Instagram, and it was our biggest build ever. So, and it was also my first ever big build. So Aiden put the faith in us to do it, and respect to Aiden Roberts for that, for letting us do that. And you know what? That was my favourite build, and this is up there with that as well. So just because of how cool it looks, and this thing's jacked up to the tits. This thing's got 16 horsepower. The stock they have 5 horsepower. So this thing's a
little weapon.
Yeah.
It just looks sick as well. Like, there's nothing stock on it. The color coding looks sick.
Yeah.
Red and black's probably my favourite.
Yeah, definitely.
For that. I think it looks nicer than yours.
It's better than mine, yeah. You can say that.
But yeah, so now you're also doing big bikes here as well?
Well, yeah, I've always, obviously been infatuated with motorbikes. So I know everything about motorbikes. So I work on big bikes as well. So we take on big bike work, depending on who it is, depending on what they want. If they want a full engine rebuild, we're probably not the best place for them, but little bits and bobs here and there. For people that I know, I'm happy to do big bikes and stuff. So
Do you plan in the future to be doing that, or do you want to just primarily be mini bikes?
No, we definitely want to break into the motard scene. So
you want
tricky moto.
Yeah.
Not sure how we're going to do it yet. The pieces of the puzzle haven't been put together properly, but definitely want to build super motards.
Yeah. So what is your end goal? Like, if you had like even like a 5-year plan, or like a 10-year plan, or even just like, what's another big goal that you have for Ozminis?
I'd love to start doing motards, yeah. And I'd love to just refine everything and, you know, maximise the profits, as in like do the graphics in the house, do the powder coating in house, and just sort of, you know, I've got it to where I want it now. Everything's going smoothly, but there's just always little refinements you can do here and there to make more money. And in terms of making more money, you can give back more to the scene and stuff. So I'd love to just keep growing the scene, and that's what I've always loved to do, man. You know, back when you were talking about when we were filming back then, it was nothing. There was nothing. This scene's been built off passion and about love, and that's kind of where my direction in life has happened, just through sheer passion of growing the scene. So ultimately, I just want to grow the scene more and be able to offer more to people, offer more options, offer more ride events, offer more this, that for the scene to grow. Keep people off the streets, keep kids out of doing bullshit. Get them on the bikes, get them riding, get them wheeling, you know. It's enough of an adrenaline rush to give you exactly the kicks you need out of life. So,
fuck yeah, it is. Riding dirt bikes is definitely probably given me the best adrenaline. Like, I've had like filmed myself and like had the thing on my helmet, and you can just hear me like, wow, just fucking launch and jump.
It's a G up, man. It's the most exciting thing ever. Honestly, people ask me like, what's the craziest thing you've done? And I say, there's nothing more crazy than fucking clutch fanning a bike in top gear.
I was about to say, you've done some monos at some high speeds.
Dude, you clutch fan a 450 top speed, 6 gear, doing 100 Ks, and you're hanging off the back of it, wearing just jeans and a shirt, swinging your legs off, swinging your arms off, fucking looking backwards. Like, there's nothing more crazier and exciting you can do than that. No drug or anything will give you that hit.
Yeah,
so.
That's something definitely that I feel like we probably both learned as growing up. Like, used to always think that drugs were the best way to get like good feelings and all this shit, and then once that really is over, you really start to learn like that there's a lot more to life than doing that shit. But I remember you guys went to have an event here and it got shut down by the police. What was the go with that? And he's going to be able to do another one? Do you have another one planned? Have you like spoken to the police? Have you
I'll be careful with what I say here, but we were going to have an event here to sort of sell a bit of merch, get a bit of a brand awareness for me.
Which should be completely fine.
Yeah, not with the cops. The cops don't, I don't know, for whatever reason.
Is this private property as well? Like?
Yeah, but, you know, the cops and the council got involved, and at the start it was all good. I was talking to them and they were saying, we'll just set up a camera, we'll just be present there. And
well, even if you could... Obviously, you don't plan on doing anything wrong. So, like, if you even just say, what are your goals? What are your plans for this? So, even if some cops did watch, so they can sort of see where you're at and like what your plans are, what you want to do.
The thing with cops is they deal with bullshit every day, and I understand it. So because they deal with all the misfits all the time, they assume everyone's a misfit. Yeah. So you can never have a real genuine conversation with a cop. They just think you're fucking trying to outdo them or swindle them, and it's
they're the fucking king swindlers.
Yeah, they're the people that are the biggest gang of them all, kind of thing, doing it. You know, a different combo, but I don't know. We tried to get something going, and they shut it all down on us, thinking that we're going to be hoons and all that. Yeah. But we'll see how we go in the future. I'll do some different stuff here. I'll get some shit happening here. I'm not letting that sort of affect me too much. So
yeah, because I have seen like Troy Candy and Eye Candy. He just has obviously a place not far from here, and he's obviously had trouble as well. And I don't know if he's either sorted his shit out or not yet. But
he's got it pretty sorted. He's been doing this a lot longer than I have. So
yeah, have you sort of? Do you reckon he's sort of? You've got any
inspiration?
Inspiration, knowledge from him? Do you know him personally?
Yeah, we had a chat not long ago because his factory's 2 stone throws from here. So we had a chat not long ago, and
I just got a cramp in my leg.
Old boy stuff, eh? Yeah, we had a chat not long ago, and yeah, we've spoken a few times, and he's inspired me a lot. Like, he's from the same area, you know, same sort of upbringing, and got the same sort of goals. Like, I don't desire to be too up there, but like, I want to aim for a similar point where I just want to be free.
But I feel like he's sort of doing what you're doing. He's just doing what he's loved, and it's sort of just grown to that. But he's obviously pretty savvy when it comes to marketing and all that stuff.
Yeah, very good at it. And he's got good at it through throwing shit at the wall, seeing what sticks, you know what I mean?
100%.
I need to piss quickly.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Oh yes. I wanted to ask also about, I know it's pretty, I've seen a few friends that are sort of find it hard, that are obviously they're working as they go, but finding a work and life balance can be pretty hard for people because I know the people that do end up succeeding in life, they're the type of people that they have go in them, and it's hard for them to stop. And obviously, like you were saying before, you've got a million different things on your plate and you're trying to pursue them all at once. So is it easy for you to find that balance? Like, you've got a good solid group around you now that...
Man, honestly, the hardest thing about running a business is knowing when work hours is and not knowing when work hours is. It's very, very hard, especially when you run an online store with, you know, 3 or 4 social medias. People are always messaging you, always saying, you know, how does this work? How do I do this? How do I do that? What fits here? What fits there?
And you always want to be there to help, obviously.
And I always am. I still am to this day. I always reply to everyone. Always try to help people out. I always have, even before I did Ozminis.
I've seen you're very active on the Facebook page, always.
As active as you can be. I have to be. It's part of my business. It's part of my brand. I have work hours between 9 to 5. That's when I do, you know, everything seriously work related, but I never knock off, man. I never knock off. It doesn't matter if it's Sunday, 9 o'clock at night and I'm with the family. I'll still be replying to DM. But yeah, you've got to really, someone said to me once, one of my mentors, he said, you've really got to figure out when work is and when work isn't, because you drive yourself insane. And it's very, very hard to find a work-life balance. Because it's all sort of blended in one, man. You know, you almost swap, when you start your own business, you swap an 8-hour day from 7 to 3, from 9 to 5. You swap that to 24/7. But during the 8 hours when everyone else is working, I can be doing whatever I want. If I'm not doing something, I've got a spare couple of hours, I can go to the shops and fucking get a haircut and, you know, do whatever I want. So you get those freedoms, but then you swap that for not having freedom when those guys finish their 9 to 5 and they just don't have to think about anything. So I've got it pretty figured now, but it's very hard.
You're obviously, that's another thing that it comes down to, just loving it though, because I know even for myself, what I'm doing at the moment isn't particularly what I want to do for the rest of my life, but as soon as I started my own business and doing what I'm doing, I loved the quoting part. I loved like doing all that stuff. Like, it was just like a sort of a breakaway from physical labor. Like, I enjoyed doing all those extra things. Like, that was nothing to me, even if it was 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, hadn't had dinner yet. Like, I didn't care. Like, I was just like, I wanted to get that done. I wanted to do that. And also, all those extra hours equal money.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like the more you put in, the more you get, really. And it sort of just comes down to just loving what you wanted to do. Yeah. And if you don't love it, you got to find something else, really, because. And a massive thing for me, and I would say for everyone to do, like, not only just, even if you're starting your own business, even if you're just making a little bit of money, the freedom to me is everything. Because, say for example, I go to work, you're a slave for those 8 hours. Yeah. You're a slave for those 8. You get paid, but you're a slave for those 8 hours. You do what you're told. You can't leave. You can't do anything. Yep. As soon as you start your own business, I want to go have a sit down lunch. Fuck it. Yeah. I'm sitting down. I want to sleep in. Fuck it. Like, like, obviously, you've got to you get those freedoms, but you've also got to put the extra work in as well.
You have obligations that come along with those freedoms. Yeah, you have obligations every day, but you do have the freedom. But that's the hard thing. Yeah, it's hard to focus your time. I feel like a lot more
people would be generally more happy in their life if they had that little bit more freedom. They would. They would be so much. Stress free.
Do you know what I'll say, man? I've seen this once. Dave Portnoy said it. Do you know Portnoy?
Yeah, I literally just watched a podcast. He was on Hotbox and Mike Tyson.
He might have said it on there. I seen him say
yesterday.
They go, oh, now that he's like 100. He's got fuck you money. He says, he's got $100 million plus this fuck you money. He goes, I don't give a shit. I started Barstool because I wanted to do it. He goes, I wouldn't care if I was earning 60 grand a year, just doing what I want to do. And that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I like the freedom of doing whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
I would love to get rich, but I don't care that much. Like,
you just want kush.
Can do whatever I want to do for the rest of my life, ride whenever I want, I'm happy. If the bills are paid, I'm happy. Like, eventually when I have kids and a missus, if everything's all set, I'm happy. I don't need to have huge capital. I don't need to be like a big rich fucking show-off
I'm exactly the same. I just want a little bit of kush, just being able to buy a little bit of shit here, there, a bit of shit there, just go out for dinner and stuff when I want. Just like, because there's been plenty of times in my life, and I'm sure in your life too, where I've been working for fucking 10 years and I can't even buy myself fucking dinner. Like, this is fucked, working week to week. And I'm like, I'm so angry at myself for... I'm 25 years old and I can't even fucking buy myself dinner. Like, I've got to wait 2 more days. I'm like, that was a bit of a push for me as well. Like,
well, as you see, as you start your own business, you go from like an hourly wage. Like, you know, if someone's on $60 an hour, that's a good wage. But when you start working for yourself, you can make $5 grand in a fucking couple of hours. You know, like you start moving. You start going from, I'm a big dog, 60, 65 an hour, and then it's like, well, fuck, I made fucking $7 grand today. Like, you start moving with different figures of numbers, and that's why you do have to go to them meetings during the day to talk about the business deal that's going to make you that money, kind of thing. So you kind of swap like a wage and swapping hours. You swap for, you know, bigger figures, bigger plans, and bigger ideas.
Just everything's just bigger, but unless you're happy with them where you are, you've got to pursue something. Like, you just got to
chase after your passion. That's what I tell people. You got to figure out what you want to do. As I don't know, I would call myself lucky, but a lot of people say it's not luck. Like, I got to chase after what I wanted to do. Like, this is my passion, man. Do it. You got to ask me when we're riding.
You made those decisions though.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, no, I did. There's a lot of things I did right, but if I was really in that 110 back when we were doing it, however long that was, 7, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, whatever it was. If you ever said to me then, do you reckon this will be a business one day? You doing a wheelie after work? Like, I would have been like, never. Yeah. But look at it, man. It's weird how when you lean into your passion, it's weird how you can make something.
That is a big thing. Like, doing what you love doing, and do it for you. Don't do it for anyone else. Do it for yourself, because that's also another thing. Reason why I didn't do it. I wasn't doing it because I was not doing it for other people, because I thought what other people thought, and But now, I've been watching you guys, and I've taken the leap myself.
It's good, man. That's good.
It's and I feel like there's a lot of us that have had like sort of rough backgrounds a little bit, and it's good to show that you can move on from that. You can grow. You can.
Oh, bro.
It's just you just got to make smart decisions, and you've got to have a good group around you as well. Like, but you've also got to have your head on. Like,
the best way you can be brought up is poor, I reckon.
Yeah.
If you get born rich, you don't get the values or the desires for self-growth that you would usually get. So, like, I feel like I grew up. Mum said to me before, sorry.
It's normal for our living, like for Frankston. But obviously, you meet other people, and it's a bit different.
Well, Mum said to me before, like, you know, sorry that we grew up poor, sorry that you didn't have everything. I always say to her, fuck, Mum, I grew up. What I grew up with, I didn't grow up with shortage of love. Like, Mum and Dad loved me to no end. Same with my brothers. I grew up with the best way you possibly could. I would never change a thing for the world. Doesn't matter if we we always had food. They always made it work. But fuck, that's about all we had, you know?
Yeah.
Like there wasn't much more than
But
that.
we it was
always
different
loved.
when we grew up because we grew up, or I definitely grew up playing outside, doing all that stuff. Now you need money to buy iPhones, buy iPads, buy not big computer or TV and shit. Back when we grew up, we didn't need any of that stuff because we would just go out and play footy, go skate in the street, go to the skate park and that. And I feel like a lot of people don't do that now. And
yeah, things are different. Definitely.
But that also gets me to another thing, is some other hobbies of yours. And I know you love snowboarding. Is there anything else that's up there? And
yes, I love footy, snowboarding, motorbikes, doing fucking skids in cars.
everybody loves a skid.
To be honest, that's pretty much my main ones. Yeah, snowboarding's my other main one.
Have you got?
You know, go to the gym and
I know
shit.
we've been to the snow a couple of times. Have you been going up a couple of times this year? It's been good that the COVID's over and now we can finally go back.
Yeah, I went 2 weekends ago. Or last weekend actually. I went. Oh no, not last weekend. Last Thursday I went to Mount Buller.
How was that getting back on the horse?
Good. Man, I love snowboarding. Snowboarding's the bomb, bro. I don't know there's something real fucking majestic about riding a plank of wood down a fucking snow mountain, bro. There's something real majestic about, especially if you have a toke on a joint, you got the beats playing and you just carve.
You need the tunes going.
You just carve in the natural ice of the mountain. Like there's something real fucking spiritual and majestic about doing that. And a lot of people just go snowboarding, they get a photo, you know, they dress up for the photo and shit. I go, man, I love fucking getting right in the zone, curving with the snow, jumping this, jumping that.
Yeah, just hitting all the terrain.
Yeah, so we got a trip happening soon. We're going Mount Hotham. One of my mates is working up there. Shout out T Mills. You'll love that. And then, went not long ago to Blue. It was a bit rainy, but other than that, the hobbies, I don't know. Just motorbikes. I love football. Can't play football anymore. I love watching it. Snowboarding, anything to do with a motor, man. Anything that's crazy and psycho.
Yeah, I'll tell you, which I'm sure one thing we'll both love, and if you haven't done it yet, we could even possibly do it together one time, is fucking the motorbikes on the snow.
Oh, a few of my mates talk about that, yeah.
Because I'm going to New Zealand in like a week and a bit, and if it's possible that I can do it up there, I'm fucking doing it.
I've ridden the snow bikes.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, rode one of them in Japan, yeah.
Oh, tell me about that. That's what another thing. Also, Japan. I want to hear all about that. That's fucking. I've been there before, and I know that it is fucking amazing. Have you ridden the snow bikes there?
Yeah, so I lived in Japan for 3 months. Always wanted to do it. Had a friend working over there.
Where were you staying? Were you staying on the mountain, or were you staying in like Tokyo area?
Right, yeah, so right on the mountain pretty much. Yeah, in Kuchan, a small town in Japan.
Which mountain was it?
Niseko, Harafu.
Yeah.
So we stayed there for 3 months. And I just wanted to go, I was 23 or something, just got rejected for a home loan. I had like fucking 70 grand or something, bro, and we got rejected for a home loan. And it was bullshit, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going fucking traveling.
Was this with your ex-girlfriend?
This was with my ex, yep. Rejected for a home loan with 70 grand. It was right as the banks were tightening up.
Yeah.
My whole life
I've never even heard of that.
It was fucked, bro.
Usually the banks are throwing money at
Nah,
people.
man, it was right as they were tightening up. It was 2017 or something, there was a little tighten up. Anyway, we couldn't get the home loan, and I was like, fuck y'all, I'm going fucking traveling. So we went to Japan. I always wanted to live over there. Fresh power. Japanese people are the best people in the world. I don't care what anyone says. Japanese people are the number one nicest people in the world. Spent a whole lot of time snowboarding there. And then for my birthday, it was my birthday over there, and it was like $800 to go riding on these things. And you manage your money really well while you're traveling.
On the snow bikes, you're saying?
On the snow bike, so.
Or is that just one day?
One day, yeah. Went by myself, was with a group of 6 guys that were all older than me. And
Man, I'm ready to drop whatever on those things.
Oh, bro, $800.
I'll suck a dick to fucking ride that
When
thing.
I was traveling, it was a lot of money, but, fucking sign me up, dude. Anyway, yeah, my birthday, went riding on the snow bikes, given this YZ 450, number 8, my footy number.
Were they brand spanking YZs?
Brand spanking, yeah.
2019s then?
Yeah, 2019, 2018,
that's what I
whatever it
got.
was.
You've been riding my bike at the snow.
Yeah, dude, yeah. Full track on the back. Amazing experience. The way that it feels, for anyone wondering, you've got like a snow ski thing on the front.
Yeah.
It's not like a wheel or anything. Then you got this big wide fucking tank track on the back.
Does it slide out at all? No.
The front wheel follows, if you're on ice, it follows the ice, but we're riding on powder, bro, like straight powder. So it just feels like a motorbike. But when you're on the ice, the track is dead straight. So like you don't feel that roll of a motorbike. You just either dead straight or you're on like an edge. And then, the ice follows. But once you're on the snow, on the powder, you can just do whatever. I was on a 450. You need a 450, bro. Like a 250 wouldn't be any good. You need the extra oomph. You need the extra oomph from a 450. One of the best things I've ever done in my whole life. Very memorable. I remember the whole day.
Did you just do one day?
Yeah, one full day with these 5 or 6 guys. They were all older than me. I still have them on Facebook and shit now. We all became mates. It was an amazing experience, and I highly recommend it.
Have you have you been on any other snow trips to overseas?
Oh yeah, Canada. Did Whistler? You've done Whistler?
I'd done Canada, but I didn't go to Whistler because I did like Golden BC, Banff, Lake Louise and somewhere else, but they were like 5-6 hours away from Whistler.
Yeah.
And we didn't have a car, so we just did like the ones that were close.
I heard Banff's pretty good.
But dude, it was amazing. I fucking loved it.
Whoops. 3 white claws and I'm half pissed.
But we've got accommodation booked and shit already for Whistler next year. So me and a couple of homies are heading there for, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks, I think.
Yep.
But yeah, I've done Canada, but I haven't done Whistler, so I'm fucking pumped to go there.
Nice.
And if I can ride those things, if I can get on those snow bikes,
bro, do it any chance you get. It was awesome. So I've done New Zealand twice, Queenstown twice, done all the mountains.
Because you can do the snow bikes at Queenstown, is that right?
Yeah, they're there. I saw them there. Yep. So I've been all over New Zealand, snowboard.
Jizz me pants. Honestly, I completely forgot about snow bikes until I've just honestly started speaking it now. And now that I know I'm going to New Zealand in a couple of days.
Oh, dude. It's like blending your 2 favourite sports together. It's fucking
literally
amazing.
Just got a hard on.
We live in a time where you can do it, so fucking get out there and do it. I did all of New Zealand, so all the mountains in Queenstown and all that, Canada, and then I've been to Japan twice as well. So I've went on a short holiday, and then I've been and lived there as well. So done a fair bit of snowboarding. So.
What about any other just travelling in general, like not snowboarding?
Yeah, been to. Been to Bali, Thailand, fucking numerous times with the family and all that. Been to Fiji, been over the west side of Europe. Done a few, cool things over there.
Where's your favourite spot?
Went to Canada. Favourite spot?
Besides Japan, obviously Japan's probably number one for me.
Good question. What's my favourite spot that I've been? Do you know what? There's something that gets me going about being in a snow town. I don't know what it is. I love being in a snow town where it's minus 15 degrees.
Getting fucked up.
You're all rugged up. You've done a day at snowboarding. Your face is all red. Your eyes are rare from the fucking goggles all day. And then you just go and sink beers in a log cabin with a fire going, talking with the boys. Canada was awesome. I reckon Whistler's very, very underrated. Whistler's like, you hear about Whistler and everyone's like, oh, it's full of Aussies and all that. It's full of fucking everyone.
Who gives a shit who's there? You're not going there for the people, you're going there for the snow.
And Canadians are awesome. I love Canadians. They're really nice. I love going.
Speaking of that, honestly, I just want to even like tell this story. Sorry for butting in, but speaking about Canadians, I've had nothing but the best experience. Like, I honestly think Canadians are the best.
Yeah.
And one time, I don't want to get fully into the story, but I ended up in a jail cell in Bolivia in South America. And like, honestly, I just woke up in the jail cell. I had no idea what the fuck happened. And the jail cell was like, it was pretty much like a 1-bedroom house just in the middle of the desert. And from my cell, I could see straight out the front door and all I could see was desert. And I had this Mexican or Bolivian next to me just barking Spanish at me, just like going off, and I'm just like, had no idea what he's saying. I'm just like,
There's always that guy in the jail cell.
There was only 2 cells. It was weird as.
Yeah.
Like the whole town was probably only like a kilometre by a kilometre, and then it was just desert for ages. And the one night I spent there, I got locked up. Like, I'm like, you fucking idiot. But yeah, I remember waking up, and there was like a bowl of water there. I don't even know if it was water or what. I was just like, oh, Lewis, you really fucked up this time. And then I literally just, there was a 2-litre Coke bottle and it had water in it. I remember, I don't know how it got there. I just sculled that, went back to sleep for a couple of hours. Then I woke up, I was like, fuck it, I gotta fucking check my pockets, shit. I got nothing. Yeah. And then I'm literally just fucking like hanging on these bars, just like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, how the fuck? I'm screaming. There's no security, there's no like, officers or anything there. I'm just like, help me! Fucking help me! And this Canadian dude just walks past, just in the middle of the desert, and it like heard me screaming, and he's like,
hey man, you good?
yeah, he's like, what's going on? And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Where am I? Like, can you get me out? And he's just like, and then he's like, oh, I don't know, bro. He's like, I don't think I can get you out. And I was like, dude, you gotta fucking help me. I was like, I don't know. I was freaking out. I'm like, dude, you have to help me. I've only got this Mexican dude fucking screaming Spanish next to me. I haven't seen a person since I woke up. I'm like, please help me. So he went back into town, got a cop, came back. They fucking got me out of jail. Then they were trying to take me back to my hostel because I got fucked up the night before. I couldn't remember where my hostel was. So the town was tiny, so we were just doing like, just driving up and down every street.
Fat laps.
Yeah, until I found a place. I'm like, that's it.
Yeah.
And then we get there and they've only, then they've got immigration there and they've got fucking the police and shit. And they was trying to say me they're going to kick me out of Bolivia. And I'm like, I don't even know what I fucking got done for.
They love saying all that shit.
And like they were speaking Spanish as well, and they were like sort of like trying to speak, and I was just like, I'm under arrest, and they're like, nah, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going. And I was with my mate as well, and they only had one key. At this stage, I didn't have nothing either, but I left my phone at the hotel the night before because just left it on charge, and that was the smartest thing I've ever done.
Really?
But
nice.
the Bolivian cops stole my wallet and my bank card and my
passport?
my key for my room. Yeah. So we couldn't get into the key in my room. My mate had to hire another room for the night and sleep in there. And then when all the commotion was going on downstairs at reception, they were like, I was like, am I under arrest? And they're like, nah. And then I was like, sweet, I'm fucking out of here.
I'm off then.
And then we went back to the place we went to the night before so we could see if we could like find my key or something. Yeah. And as soon as we walked in, they're like, oh, the crazy Aussies are back. And I was like, what? I was straight away, I was like, what the fuck happened the last night? They're like, it's full like the hangover, bro. Yeah. You crazy, man. He's like, and they had like it was like a big wooden cup, but then it had like 9 other little shot glass cups like attached to it. Yeah. And then it all like went into one like a kettle sort of thing, like a teapot, sorry. So then when you like drink it, it all goes into one and then you can drink it. And they had like all the fastest times on there. And we had the fastest time. There was thousands of fucking photos and times and shit on the wall.
No way.
And we had the fastest one.
No way.
And they was telling us, he's like, you crazy last night? He's like, you were crying, you flipping tables. And I'm like, bro, I don't remember nothing. I was like, I just woke up in jail. And then they were like, why you woke up in jail? And apparently I like pissed some dude off, and then I don't know what was going on, but I just got like real emotional and I was crying. I flipped tables and shit. And then this dude was and I was like, oh, the cops stole all my shit. And I was like, I got nothing. And then they're like, one of the dudes that was saying, he's like, tapped me on the shoulder. He's like, I'm undercover cop. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, what, did you put me in jail, you piece of shit? And he's like, no. Oh. And I'm like, well, can you help me? And he's like, I want to try to help you. He fucking went to the cop station, come back, he's got my my bank card. Like, they took my whole wallet, but he got my bank card back. and my hostel key.
Bullshit.
And this dude, I still got this dude on Facebook, bro. Like,
That's a mad travel story. That shit only happens when you're fucking out there in the sticks
dude,
traveling.
and I was only there. That was like a one night joint, and then literally I was like, let's fucking leave this joint.
Yeah.
And literally got on this little fucking chicken bus where the windows and shit wouldn't even like open, and got off to the next joint.
Fuck yeah, bro. Traveling's the bomb for all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, favourite place would be, just, I guess, snow towns. Where else was Amsterdam was sick. Smoking weed in Amsterdam. It's like being in a movie. But yeah, everywhere you go is awesome. I don't know, like everywhere I've been is fucking awesome.
The weed was fucking real strong over there.
Yeah, dude, I nearly missed my flight back home. But you know how there's all those trams there?
Yeah.
So for anyone that doesn't know,
Dude, how was the pushies over there?
yeah, everyone's on pushies. There's pushies everywhere. We had pushies and shit. And there's like one tram in the city that goes like through Flinders Street all the way fucking through. In Amsterdam, there's trams that are like up to 100. There's like tram 1 all the way through to 100. So we got off a random tram, like 57 or something. Didn't know where the stop was. Walked around, found a weed shop, got the best weed ever, got high as fuck, couldn't remember where the fucking tram was. Nearly missed our flight back home and everything. Yeah, it was hectic.
Apparently they don't even they're not even selling weed to public over there anymore.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
I got in just in time then.
Yeah, that's what even same for me as well. But yeah, I don't know if that's 100%, but I heard that they're not doing. They don't have the cafes for tourists anymore. It's only for locals.
That's shit.
But that what about the fucking hookers over there?
Yeah, I had a missus when I was over there, bro, so I didn't get to experience that.
Because it's pretty gnarly. Like, they're just chilling there in the windows, like, come here, baby.
Man, I regret it. I wish I fucking was single going over there. I would have been all about that.
So have you got any future travel plans?
Yeah, I'd love to go to America. Really love to go to America.
The States?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably that's my main place where I want to go. Always wanted to go to America. Want to experience everything I can over there. Go to LA, see where all the movies are made, see what It's just what we've seen when we're growing up and shit. You go over there. They love Aussies over there. One of my mates, Jack Simo's over there. He's riding over there. So
I've seen he comes second in the. Was he come second in the?
He came second in the Fink last year.
Yeah, in the Fink.
And this year he came third, which has only just been. But
yeah, I've seen that. He's looking like an absolute fucking weapon,
he's
bro.
a weapon. He's a weapon. Legend of the bloke.
Did you do something with him? Oh no, he did something with Troy Candy, didn't he? That.
Yeah, no, we haven't done any collabs yet.
But you guys are homies, yeah?
Yeah, we're homies. Yeah, he, I look after him with parts and stuff whenever he needs parts for his mini bikes, and he looks after me with a bit of marketing and stuff online, and he's got a bit more reach in the motorbike scene, and he's just a good mate of mine as well. He's a really good dude, so we just get along really well. Just came from the same sort of world, so.
Yeah. You reckon you have any plans? Because he's living in America now and
he's living in
racing
America,
now.
yeah. So I'll go over, I'll use that as my ticket to go over to America. I've got someone there that can show me around home base and all that. I've already talked to him about it and stuff, and that'll probably be my first trip over to America, and he can show me the ropes over there a little bit.
Whereabouts is he? Because it's fucking desert everywhere over there, isn't it?
I can't remember the exact suburb he's in, but the name Palm Springs comes to mind. It's like a couple of hours from LA. Yeah, he's out sort of where Axel Hodges and all that is, I think.
Bro,
don't quote me on that.
Do you watch Axel Hodges' YouTube channel and shit?
Oh, of course. He's a legend.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a fucking major inspiration for you because, dude, the shit that he's doing, like those fucking 100-foot jumps to monos to nose wheelies, like.
He does.
Is that something that you would be trying to do in the future, or even just on a mini bike, like little jumps to fucking monos and stuff? Is that something that's
what he does is,
as
you in the motorbike scene, there's racing, and then there's like freestyle, and then there's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
And there's somewhere in the middle is where I like to be. Doing wheelies. It's kind of like free riding.
Everything's not black and white, so you should be able to do it.
It's just Axel Hodges is the epitome of like free riding, like having a huge compound, doing whatever you want to do. Hot misses, all that shit. But yeah, he focuses on free riding, which is the it's experiencing a motorbike in the exact way that you want to experience it. You want to do a backflip and then do a wheelie, go for it. And these days you can make content and it can
he's so creative, isn't he?
and you can get real creative with it. And that's what I've always loved doing. Same with snowboarding. You won't catch me on the park, you know, doing triple backies on the fucking big jumps, but you'll catch me through the trails, finding that little hip, and you can like touch a tree and then land and do a butter. It's like freedom of expression. That's kind of what I like doing on a motorbike, and I like doing that on snowboarding as well. So
yeah, well, that's
expressive
obviously
riding almost.
Yeah, that is a big thing. I reckon he is just stepped it up a whole nother. There's no one in the world like him. I don't know anyone else that can do the stuff that he's doing, and not only that, with the content as well, because I'm sure you see little things that he does, and eventually, like you said, you would probably like to have your own compound or something eventually. That would be the goal.
Yeah, definitely.
And you obviously would like to do it local.
Yeah, definitely around here. Yeah, I would love to.
Imagine just like the world's your oyster, bro. Like, and especially being a big part of the growth of 110 bikes, like you really are like a massive part of that, especially around here.
Yeah, thanks. Man.
It's really something to be proud of, bro.
Thank you, bro. It's always been my dream to own a motorbike shop. I didn't think, as you get older, life changes and stuff. It's ended up being a different path than what I thought. But that's ultimately what I want to do. I want to inspire people, and I've brought the scene to where it is. Like, I hate pumping my own tyres, but a lot of the scene growing to where it is, people don't see it, but a lot of it's been me digging my heels in and really pushing this scene to where it is now. So
yeah, and a big thing is the community that you've, I wouldn't say created, but the community that just is in 110s. Like everyone just loves it so much that there seems like there's a lot of good people around. I'm sure there's a lot of good people that could help you and bring it up there. Is there other 110 groups that you've got plans with?
Yeah, sort of all around here, like.
Because there's so many now.
I've met a whole lot of people.
Have they reached out to you or?
Yeah, people reach out to me all the time. Yeah, all the time. It's fucking weird how many people do reach out to you and the connections you make through running a business like this. I talked to one of my heroes and I'm friends with him now, got his phone number and stuff, Cam Sinclair.
Yeah.
Yeah, ended up on phone call terms with him, talking to him about stuff, which was like, tried to play it cool, but I was fucking gobsmacked the first time I met him and I was so nervous. But yeah, you meet a lot of cool people. I've met a lot of friends, especially even recently in the last couple of months. People come in here as customers and they end up becoming your mates. Like,
yeah, so they're obviously very supportive of what you're doing.
Yeah, everyone loves it. Everyone that comes in here, massive supporters. They're keen on everything. They buy your merch. They buy your parts.
Yeah.
They're happy to pay full price, which is great because I just give it straight back to the 110 scene anyway.
Yeah, that is the biggest thing. Honestly, just what I've seen lately, even that I want to shout out, my friend Jai started the Cold Water Club, and he started doing that. I'm actually going to do it on Sunday, and I'm scared as hell. I feel like I've acclimatised to the Gold Coast.
Do you do cold showers at all?
I do cold showers after sauna. I do sauna and cold shower.
Yeah.
But the water in Queensland just ain't cold.
Yeah, true. Yeah, good point.
So I'm a little bit nervous about doing that, but shout out to Jai and the Cold Water Club, and definitely check that Instagram out and go down and get down in the water for sure.
Yeah, the Cold Water Club. Yeah, that's awesome. And the benefits of that, Jai's such a good person, such a good dude. He's got such a good heart, such good intentions, and cold water is the most underrated thing ever. I have cold showers every single day. I had one this morning. It really, really grounds your mind. Really, really gets you would say warmed up for the day. It actually cools you down for the day, but that's what actually gets your body, it like stings your body into getting up in the morning kind of thing. And I have one at night as well to just get your body in repair mode for sleep and all that. And there's huge benefits out of that. And I love what he's doing. I reckon that's fucking awesome because he's doing that non-for-profit. It's just to help people, and nothing better than seeing that.
Yeah, for one of the things that stuck for me is what he's told me, because he's one of my good friends as well, is that jumping in the water, in freezing cold water for 10 minutes is the hardest thing I've got to do every day, then fucking let's get it done, bro. Like, and not only that, getting it done in the morning, the first thing you do. So like the first thing you do, and I know for me, getting up in the morning is
it's hard.
It's hard. And just for him getting up there and just doing it, he said he's going to do it every single day of winter, which is like impressive. And there's a lot of people going there now, but there's obviously still some days that he's still got to just go out there and hustle himself and like no excuses, and rain, hail or shine.
Yeah, man.
And not only that, I feel like giving others, just giving to others is you get so much back. And that's what sort of also is what got me started my podcast as well. Like I've learned so much about life and things like that, and I want to do this for non-profit, like to start, so hopefully some other people can listen to these and learn something from life as well. So I'm sure we could definitely do that.
There's no better feeling, bro, than
it's weird,
than giving back. And like I make money out of Ozminis, but I also filled a hole in the market.
That just fell into place though from everything that you've done for the scene.
As I said, I've always done it even before I was making money off it. It was always, when I started this Facebook group, which was the original start of Ozminis, getting it to 1,000 followers, every single day I was sharing it to, join this group, just to get everyone together and start the ball rolling of just helping everyone out. Someone needs this, someone needs a stock exhaust, someone needs a set of foot pegs or whatever. We're all connected and all that. It was always just to help people out, and there is no real more rewarding feeling than being able to give back, and I'll always be that way. And the more successful I get, doesn't matter where I get to, I'll always feel the most pleasure out of helping people out. And if you can help someone, the more people's lives you change, and inevitably the more richer you're going to get. Not that that's the goal, but it's a fucking good feeling. It's a fucking good feeling.
100%. And I know, what about, since you have got a bit of a following now and stuff, since then, have the women started coming crawling?
I like your questions. This is good. I don't know. I've got a following of, if you combined it all, maybe I've got about 30,000 in total of following, which is weird because, I'm used to.
That's a lot. Like thinking, even if you've got 500 followers, like I don't even know how many followers I've got, but not many, obviously. But just that amount of people it's like, if you think about it, is a lot.
Yeah.
And then you think about like 30,000, like that's a fucking lot.
Well, it's nothing in the scheme of things.
It's nothing in the scheme of things, but it's a lot. Like
with the girls, you get it. I've noticed.
Thirsty.
Hey,
get some thirsty inboxes.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I know.
Why you look a little bit ashamed? You're like,
no, because I'm so nice. Like I'm a nice guy, but like I don't know. You get DMs off girls, and I'm just like I wouldn't go there. So like, I try to be nice and like just give them a like reply or something. But the girls pick up. But do you know what? I don't even really care that much. Like what I do care about is the other night I was out at a party and we were. This guy said the first time he met me, he was a little bit starstruck. So obviously he was younger. He was like 16 or 17. Obviously been following me for a while. And it was the first time anyone had ever said they was starstruck by me. And I don't feel like I could starstruck anyone, but that was a fucking amazing feeling hearing that. And I felt like I was doing the right thing and going down the right path when I heard that. And the first thing I said to him was fucking, bro, you ever meet anyone that feels starstruck around? They're just normal humans like you, so don't worry. Just go up and talk to them like they're a normal human. Like, if someone comes up to me and they're like, oh, you're the owner of Ozminis, fuck, fucking how did you get there and all that? It's like, fuck, like I've got to go into like professional mode and try and act cool. But if someone's like, oh, hey, yo, I'm Matt, fucking nice to meet you, bro. Oh, you own Ozminis, blah, blah. It's a bit more of a chilled conversation. I like when guys come up to me, but not that many girls come up to me and go, "Oh fuck, you own Ozminis and whatnot." But you inevitably get it. You get more when you got more of a following.
Not even just that. Just you're doing some pretty fucking cool shit. Like you've obviously got some style. I've seen you've been doing like a few photo shoots and stuff like that, like in the city. Like How'd they go down in the city? Like, did you get in trouble with because I seen you were like full riding your bike through the city and shit. Like,
yeah, well, there was this one time we were riding in the city. I was doing wheelies down Chinatown. I was
that's packed in there.
Yeah, bro. I was doing a wheelie
Did
down.
you get some pictures of that?
Yeah, bro. I got some good ones. Yeah, they're on my Instagram and shit. And then this back door opens of an alleyway, and these fucking 4 cops come out. And I was wheeling the bike, and we got a full camera set up, lighting and all that. And like I got off the bike straight away. I was like, "Fuck, sorry." Like they're like, "No, it's cool." When you got a camera out, things are a bit different. It's weird. It's weird how it works like that. But we're like, "Oh, we're just doing a photo shoot." And they're like, "Turn the bike off. You can do your photo shoot. You just can't ride." So we didn't really get much hassle out of that. But yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So.
That is, if he's got any other plans for some future? Have you got like a photographer that you use?
Do you know what? I've used a lot of different people for photography and all that, but I haven't found the exact ride or die photographer yet. So
should try Busy. I know.
Me and Busy have linked up, and we've done a couple of little things, but we need to do something proper soon. Yeah, because he's the man at the moment. So
yeah, he's got so much skill, man. Like so many times, just making just like little films and stuff. Like sometimes I watch them and he'll make them in like fucking 2 minutes, bro. And I'm like, holy shit, that is hectic. Like,
yeah, he knows what's up.
But yeah, obviously finding the right person for you. Is obviously going to be the one. But obviously, what kind of team have you got at the moment? Like, is it just you said you got a worker working for you?
Yeah, so I've got. This girl Nicole that helps out with she's been pretty much since the start. She's helped me with everything. She's awesome. Fucking couldn't rate her any more high. She's a lovely girl.
Through doing all the bookworks and stuff like that?
She does a lot of stuff and just sort of helps me out with another brain, putting things together, helps me out grounding my thoughts and all that. And then I've got a worker that comes in at the moment, helps me out with all the mechanical side of things when we get busy in here. I've got friends that come in. I've got friends that are qualified mechanics and shit. So.
Yeah, it looks like you've got even like lots of friends and stuff willing to come and help you out.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people, and respect to them as well. They come and help me out. And, I look after them as well. But I really appreciate the help that they give me and stuff. And yeah, it's growing right now. The community's growing a lot. It's been 2 years of solid grind. Hasn't really been much of a community as in right around me, but as of recently, it's starting to really form. So yeah, that's a good feeling.
Do you get people like messaging you, asking for a job and shit?
Yeah, I do. I get people messaging for sponsorships as well, like, "I'll sponsor me to do this," which we have done.
That's another thing also. I know you were trying to get a White Claw sponsor for a while. That's why we're drinking the White Claws. And
White Claw, sponsor me. Nah, I tried for a little bit, but I sort of put 2 and 2 together. They don't want to mix White Claw. I've spoken to them.
Bro, if you get big enough, anybody will want anything. So
yeah, we'll see how we go.
I know that sort of alcohol and riding.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
But AFL teams have Hungry Jacks and shit as their sponsors. So
McDonald's is like the AFL's biggest sponsor.
So that just goes to show that it doesn't matter. Like if they appreciate what you're doing, then hopefully we could possibly get that one day.
I'd love to one day, because White Claw is healthy. That was the reason I started drinking White Claws. Everyone's like, "Oh, fuck, you drink White Claws, drink a beer like a man." And it's like, dude, you drink beers the rest of your life, I drink White Claws the rest of my life. You're going to be fucked when you're 50. Yeah. I'm going to be still drinking these White Claws, man. Like, 2 grams of carbs, fucking no sugar, like 2 grams of sugar instead of like 40 grams of sugar per beer. It's so much more healthier, so much more longevity for you. That's why I drink them. And that's why I rep them as well, because people should be drinking healthier. Drinking's really bad for you.
Yeah, it's really definitely something that I picked up, because I was pretty heavily drinking, but I switched over to the sugar-free. I don't know how much better it is for you, but everything that I drink now is pretty much sugar-free.
Yeah.
But also, what about you? Because I know you train as well.
Yeah.
How's that going? Have you got a good balance with your work and your life, and you going to gym? Or
so about a year and a half ago, I started gym really seriously when I was going through the breakup.
Where are you training?
I was training in Cranny at Anytime Fitness. Now I do Nitro Gym in Cam Downs, just up here.
Yeah.
Literally as of recently in the last month, I've been training a lot, like really getting back in my routine. But my main stint was I did like 7 or 8 months of solid training, and I put on 10 kilos naturally through creatine, eating a lot of food. I used to be heaps more skinny. I used to be 75 kilos and now I just float around at 85. But yeah, recently I've just hopped. Yeah, it's nice being thicker, bro. It's nice, but you know, things are a lot easier when you got a bit more weight to you, except you're just slower. You got to carry around a bit more weight. But yeah, I love going to the gym, and your life's inevitably better when you go to the gym.
100%.
So yeah, I love, especially recently joining back up. Like COVID stopped me, the gym's closed. I got out of my routine, still kept all my weight because I did it all naturally. So I just operate at this weight now. But now I'm right back into it, and yeah, I'm loving it again.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I would highly suggest for everything. I always try to probably sound like a broken record to my parents, but even to my parents, I'm always harping onto them about trying to just do a little bit of exercise every day, because ultimately, if you look at someone that's 60, or even just say 70 years old, someone that has just lived a pretty unhealthy life and they're just cruising by, or someone that's taken care of himself, you can look good and still be able to, you can still ride dirt bikes, just mono and shit up the street. Obviously you wouldn't be able to run on a track and stuff probably, but you could still do the things that you're doing at 70 years old and still feel in good health. Good health if you look after yourself now. So, and that definitely wasn't something that we grew up around. We sort of just had to learn the hard way and obviously change and adapt. But it's definitely something that everybody needs to get around. Just even if it's fucking 10 minutes a day, bro, just get a little bit of a sweat on every day.
It's more so the fact that you do it every day. That's what you realise as you get older. It's whatever you do every day, whether it's having creatine, people have creatine 3 times a week. It's man, you got to do creatine every single day if you want to get the results out of it.
Yeah.
If you train for 10 minutes every day, it's better than a fucking 4-hour one session every week. You train for a little bit every day. Whatever you do every day is going to compound for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So.
And I can definitely tell you there's been plenty of times where I didn't want to go to the gym. I went to the gym and I'd be like, fuck it, I'm just going to go to the gym for 10 minutes and then boom, I'm there for 2 hours, bro. As soon as you start get going, you're just I'm on, man. Yeah, and having the fucking sickest sesh ever.
Yeah.
So it's just that mindset, just been fuck you pussy, I'm fucking going.
Get there.
The inner bitch is a real thing.
Yeah. I saw this thing the other day. It was at Nitro Gym. I shared it on my story. It was a saying, and it said, "Success isn't owned; it's leased, and the rent's due every day."
Yeah, I've seen that. That's a fucking good saying.
It's a saying that me and my gym partner got now. The rent's due. So
yeah, I did say
it's
that.
It's a fucking good little analogy to keep in your head. The rent's due. You can apply it to everything. Whether you're getting up in the morning, the rent's due. When you want to go to the gym and you don't want to go, the rent's due. If you want to be successful, it's leased. And the rent's fucking due, man.
At that point in time, make that your number one priority. That's why there's a big thing that I've learned as well, is making small steps, little goals for the big picture. So instead of saying I've just straight up saying I've got to start my own motorbike business, there's obviously little steps that you took that obviously led you here.
Yeah.
It wasn't just I'm just going to wake up this morning, I'm going to start my business. So obviously what was your small little goals that you done to just...
Yeah, good question. So what I got to say to that is, you get an idea. Every good idea starts with a good idea. You got to have the good idea, and then you got to execute it as well. There's this funny thing that happens, and I've realised it a few times, and a lot of people wouldn't have realised it. There's a moment when you do 10, 15 steps of something. You figure out your plan, you do this, you order that, you get that, you build the, build the website or whatever. And then there's this funny thing that happens and you go, oh fuck, all that's lined up, all that's working. And you've checked all the boxes up to that point, and it's all about organising all that shit into the right direction of where you want to go. So you've got to make those little steps. Whatever those steps are, you've got to make them happen and all that. And it's a very, very rewarding feeling when you do all those steps and then all of it lines up and you've created something. It's fucking... Is
there anything that you do though? Do you write things down? Do you get an idea? Do you write it down? Is just little things like that? What do you do?
a great tip that I can give people is whenever you think of something, like write it in your notes. You got a notepad on your phone all the time.
A lot of people think they've got a big stigma of like, they think a lot of things like, oh, that's fucking gay, you doing that shit, just like...
Yeah, you can think that, but like, you probably won't be,
that's what I mean, like, but a lot of people do think like that, and it's just like, those little things really do matter, and that's something that I've really started to notice lately.
If I like every single night, I'll be sitting there at night about to go to sleep, and like I'll think, oh fuck, I need to email that person. I'll write it in my notes.
Yeah.
And sometimes I won't even write it in my notes. I'll just email that person straight away, which comes back to like working 24/7. But always, if you think of something, don't just think of it and then be like, oh yeah, I'll do that tomorrow. Write it down. Like, it's very important to write things down all the time.
While they're fresh in your mind.
Yep. And also, seizing the moment of like, you know, if you think of a good idea, it doesn't matter what time it is of the day, just fucking maybe just do it, like, because it's right there, fresh, ready to go. Because I've thought of heaps of things and then I've forgotten it the next day, not remembered it, and then just fucking, that's probably just gone in the wind, you know.
That could have been $1 million idea.
Yeah, like that's a tip that I can give people. Just fucking always be ready to go, always be ready to pull the trigger on something, and always write everything down. I write down things a lot, and everything's about organisation, putting it into categories, executing each goal, and then when you're 3/4 away through executing, the rest of it just sort of happens, and you can sit back and bathe in it almost, and it's a great feeling.
Commitment and just sort of staying true.
Yeah.
But I also need to take a fucking
break. Pee break number 2 finished.
So I also wanted to ask, what's a standard day in the life for Brett or for Ozminis, just like during the week? Like, have you got, because obviously before this you're a tradie, and you're on the slug, like same as a lot of other people. They were just working for someone else and just working for the man, and now obviously you've created all of this yourself. So what's a a good day in the life of Brett?
So a regular day is, you know, hours are 9 to 5. So I'm up and about 8 o'clock, just getting ready for the day.
I like that.
Check the emails, you know, get prepared for the day and whatnot. Pack the orders usually first thing of the day.
Is that like nearly a daily?
Oh, every single day. Every single day.
Well, you don't have like one day of the week that you send. You just constantly send as quick as possible.
As soon as our biggest thing is faster shipping. We send everything express. So it's a little trick that we do. Even if they order standard, we send express. When people, yesterday, someone ordered. The day before, someone ordered something, and he got it the day after. Straight away, he posted on Instagram, fastest shipping I've had in 3 years or something. He said something like that. So he ordered it, you know, 3 o'clock on a Thursday and got it at 4 o'clock on Friday. Yeah. So people love that shit. So
is it always shipping? If there's like local shit, it's always shipping, or was
when we were smaller,
is it nearly worth dropping off?
Yes, when we were smaller, we used to drop off. Yeah, we'd drop off, you know, if it was in Came Downs or whatnot. But these days, you know, there's just too much to do, so everything just gets shipped out. We crank the orders out in the morning. Every day is different. Depends if I got a bike build going on, but I go through my emails, do all the orders. You know, I've got 150 plus parts, so there's constantly, I've got to order this, I've got to check that, I've got to make sure this is going on. I've got to message people, you know, people, let them know when the parts are coming in. There's always something to do around here, cleaning wise.
What's the most bought product of Ozminis?
The most, it would be fork springs, damping rods, rear shocks, and foot pegs. And bars as well.
Do you sell like the 88 kits and the BBR Rev kits and all that stuff?
We sell a lot of performance stuff, but we haven't got fully into the 110 performance stuff. We're just about to get into the 110 performance stuff now. Yeah. So
it can make a lot of difference, that stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
It can turn a fucking pit bike into a mini race bike.
That thing's got 16 horsepower, man. You should have a quick go of it after this. Fucking sorry, Nick, but
that's what I was actually wanting to ask him. Like, I want to ride that.
You can have a ride.
I want to ride that thing.
You can ride the motard as well. Fucking oath.
I'm too big for these fuckers.
Nah, jump on my motard after this. Let's get it. But after I do You know, usually most of the day would entail like a bike build or something, you know, powder coating of something. So I got to drive to
So you do everything in store?
Not everything just yet. So we don't do graphics in here. We don't do any of the powder coating or cerakoting.
Yeah.
So, you know, a day I could be driving to do this, picking up that. Every day is different. That's a good thing about running your own business. It's always different. I'm not sitting there at a fucking steel mill drilling holes for fucking 8 hours a day. So, or installing air conditioners all day like I used to. So every day is different.
So you practicing on the graphics and stuff so you can perfect it and then do it all yourself here? Or?
Well, we've got a good deal going with, we use a collective for our sticker kits. So we've got a good deal going with them. You know, until it's really, really feasible, that's when I'll change. But for now, things are working pretty smoothly as it is. So we've got a good deal with them. So.
Oh, that's good. But they're fucking doing a sick job. Because some of the, does some people like message you and be like, oh, can you sort of design a bike for me? Or is that something that people can do?
Yep.
Or?
So we've got a stock templates that we use. Mine's a stock template. We do a white, red and black version of that. We do a HRC red kit.
They're
sometimes
big lately,
massive. They're a bestseller.
Jet Lawrence and shit.
Yeah, bestseller. A lot of people get Jet's numbers and shit. So. But yeah, we also do custom kits for a little bit extra. I just liaise with Collective, and then I tell them what they want. Usually Collective nail it every time. They're pretty good. Yeah. So yeah, we do custom kits as well.
I've seen you've been getting obviously the Ozminis stickers out and about. Like, obviously, do you put them on all your bikes if you ever do them?
Every single bike I do. Yeah. Every single bike, they've always got an Ozminis sticker.
The stickers are sick, bro, so like they have no reason not to put them on there.
Yeah, and we put them in good spots to make the bike pop more. They're always throughout the kit.
Yeah, I've seen you had one on your exhaust. How'd that go? Because when it gets hot.
On my on my motard?
Yeah, it actually was on that.
I don't know, it doesn't seem to get hot enough to melt it.
Just a normal sticker?
Yeah, it's just a normal sticker.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That I'm like, surely once that gets fucking toasted, it'll...
no, just for whatever reason, it just doesn't melt. I put it on there.
Because that looks sick. Like, that's just like that. The little things matter.
Yeah, little details.
The little details do definitely matter. But I thought you had orange spokes on... I don't know.
Nah, just orange wheel wraps.
Yeah. No, that's actually better. The spokes look shit when they're coloured.
Yeah, no, I like the stock spokes. So.
Nah, because I think the tricky bike's looking amazing.
Thanks, bro. Thank you.
Because I remember when you first got that and you were just cruising around in the stock fucking...
dirt tyres.
Yeah, just the stock KTM. Yeah. And now it's on another level. Yeah. You just need to polish that pipe up a little bit.
The pipe's fucked, isn't it? Yeah. I need a new pipe.
that was the one thing I noticed when I was like,
dude,
no offense, but that was just like, because it's like a fucking Mickey bike. That was the first thing I noticed. I'm like, you need to fucking get the polisher on that.
If I could buy a brand new fucking exhaust right now, I'd buy a whole brand new one. But you can't get them at the moment. FMF's not making them. Pro Circuit's not making them.
You can only get slip-ons.
Yeah, you can only get slip-ons. Yep. So I want a full exhaust. I'd have a full FMF if I had the choice.
What? Because it's old, or?
COVID materials is what's holding us up on a lot of different things. I experience it with all our parts and shit. There's just huge COVID hold-ups from everyone's like, oh, COVID's finished and shit. It's fucking still happening for a lot.
Do you get most of your parts from overseas?
Yeah, not all of them. Maybe 60% comes from overseas.
Is there like any way to sort of keep it local? Is that like an option, or is it just everything's better in America?
No. It just depends. Everyone has different parts, so we source parts from everywhere, man. It doesn't matter if someone next door's, if they got the part next door.
I've seen the Thrash Minis and that. They obviously even make some of their own parts. Do you make any of your own parts, like, or manufacture your own, or get someone to manufacture your own parts?
Yeah, we have our own gear shifters, engine plug kits, fuel caps, damping rods. Yeah, we're working on our own bits, but
that's good, because you want to keep, like we was talking about before, you want to keep it all local, you want to keep it all in the community. Like, there's no point fucking giving all this money to the Americans when we can make it all ourselves here. Yeah, the only money I give to America is BBR, because BBR are the #1 pit bike part company. And slip-on pipes and shit. In terms of quality and all that. What slip-ons with? What, the FMF, the Pro Circuit pipes and shit, they're all American, aren't they? Yeah. Apparently they're obviously really hard to get. So hard to get at the moment. I've seen that you have been one of the only people to get certain products like that. Yeah. So you've obviously put the extra work into it. Oh, yeah, man. I've put in the yards to get these deals with the big companies. Like, people don't realise the yards that I've put in
and the amount of emails that I've sent, the amount of phone calls, the amount of fucking attempts to get things, and I finally get them. The deal with BBR was really hard to get, but we're the sole trader of BBR parts in Australia, which is, you know, one of my best flexes, so we get the BBR swing arms in, no one else in Australia gets them. But yeah, we a lot of our parts we do get from Australia, but, you know, anyone that makes anything in Australia, I'm all about it. But not many people are doing it yet because it's not
just
profitable.
Sort of American sport. And
and these guys have been doing it a lot longer than us. We can make something over here, it costs $200. They make it over there, it costs $100. So.
Same as buying, why everybody buys shit from China.
Yeah, exactly. So, we're trying to make more shit here as time goes on. My goal for the first couple of years was just to get everything in, all the best bits in, and then now we're just sort of going back through the lot, seeing what we can make cheaper, make better, get made closer, and things like that. So,
what do you think, for the people watching, what do you think is the best thing that you could do on a bike on a budget?
The first upgrades I recommend are bars, grips, and foot pegs, because it's your 4 points of contact: right hand, left hand, and both your feet. You want bigger platforms for your feet, and then you want, you know, your grips and your controls to be the best. So that's the first things I recommend. Yes. And then suspension, if you're any kind of heavy, if you're over 50 kilos, you need suspension to give you the rebound and the feedback on the 110.
That's why I was saying that a lot of people first started using the XR bars on mini bikes. Like, even when I was growing up and stuff, everyone would be like, oh, just put the XR bars on. Yep. And now you guys are obviously not using those.
Yeah, we use the XR50 ones.
Oh, you're still using those?
They're the number one. They're one of our best sellers, The XR50, they're tall, they're wide, they're cheap.
Yeah. What? Not those ones?
Yeah, that's what they are.
Oh, they're just...
all three of them.
They're just different ones because they're not all as one. They're like a two-part thing. They like newer ones.
That's how they've always been like that.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, they've always been like that. Yeah.
Oh, that's my bad then.
But yeah, they're the best ones. So we run them. We've got a deal with Serco Yamaha, who imports all the stuff for Australia. They're the Pro Taper distributor, so we've got a deal with them. So we get all the parts off them. So
yeah, that's good. What about this one here? Whose is that?
This one?
Yeah. Is all? Oh, obviously that one's yours.
Yep.
These two complete.
Yeah, they're both done. Yeah, they're both customers of mine and friends of mine. Nick Tobes, that's his bike there. He wanted the fastest 110 getting around, so he's got the fastest 110 getting around now.
Why is that one quicker than anyone else's?
Because that's got a 132 big bore in it, and then every single supporting mod you can get.
What's yours got?
So mine's still 110cc with every single supporting mod. So that's just 22 cc's bigger than mine, but same mods all around. I just kept mine the same size motor, but my next build I'll go bigger.
But it's got a completely different motor.
Different cylinder and different bore size, Yeah,
okay, so that's what you were saying. This is the first time that you've completely opened the motor up and just... Yeah. So that's obviously something you guys want to get into. You just want to do absolutely everything.
Oh, yeah, man. Engines are what got me really into motorbikes. I love the fact that there's something you can twist and it just goes bah. I've always been infatuated with how that shit works.
That noise is just so funny.
And how the fuck and how you can just twist the throttle and you just go. That's always what's been just so amazing to me. So I've always, ever since I was young, Mum tells this story and, you know, family dues and stuff. When I was like 11 years old and I took apart the lawnmower. Because I just wanted, Dad's like, what the fuck are you doing? The whole lawnmower's apart. And I was like, Dad, it's all good. And I cleaned the whole insides of the motor because it was struggling to start. Yeah. And I cleaned the whole thing, cleaned the carby, cleaned the top of the piston, cleaned all the carbon off the top of the piston, and then put it back together. And it started first pull every single time after that. And Dad's like, fuck, well.
Fuck, that's cool. So I've definitely never done that.
Mum tells me Mum tells that story around the family do. And I've just always loved taking things apart, seeing how they work and all that. So I've just inevitably learnt it all through the whole way.
Well, you've learnt as you go?
Yeah, I'm fully qualified to do whatever on a motor and whatever on a motorbike. I'm just that obsessed with them. I just know everything about them. So
well, obviously your clients have had nothing but good things to say.
So far, it's been pretty good.
That's why, I don't know if you want to say this, but has there been any mishaps with the build or anything? Or have you had any sort of bad clients?
No one's perfect. So we've made mistakes, but I've always made mistakes, but the important thing is you acknowledge that mistake, accept that you made the mistake, and then you just learn from it, and you don't do it. You try not to do it again, and that's it. It doesn't matter about making mistakes. Sometimes it happens, and that's like a good tip that I can give to people. You know, if you
It's
make
how
a
you
mistake,
handle the mistake.
yeah, it's more about how you handle it. Yeah, if every time I make a mistake, I cop it straight on the chin. If I mess up, I haven't done any big mess ups on that note. If I mess up, sometimes, you know, when you've done fucking thousands and thousands of orders, the odd order you might miss a bit or put in a different colour of a bit, just through general, statistically, you're probably going to mess something up. As soon as we mess something up, straight away onto it and fix it straight away. No customer charge, straight away customer service.
Yeah.
And out of that, you get actually some good... Customers are very happy with that, and you actually get a bit more respect out of that as well. So every single mistake I've ever made, I've owned it straight away, and I always deliver on fixing that mistake as soon as I can. So
yeah, that's what people want, that as well. And I can say for myself, recently I've done a job, and it's been a little bit of a saga, and I've been as soon as nothing really went wrong, it was just a little bit of a problem, and I told the dude straight up, I was like, I'm in this till the end. Like, I'm gonna make sure this thing's working for you by the time I'm finished with you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And aesthetically, the thing looked mint, but it just wasn't working perfect. So I've been going to the dude's house like 3 or 4 times a week, trying different things, and he lives half an hour away from me. And just from me purely putting the effort in, and me assuring him, me answering every single one of his calls, assuring him that I'm here, I'm not going anywhere, you paid for this, I'm gonna get you this. Yeah. And now he already had some other stuff for me to do, but after this happened, I was like, he's not gonna want me to do anything. But the way that I dealt with that problem, I've got thousands of dollars of more work in that house now. So
well, that's the thing. As you said, you paid for this, you're going to get this. Like, that's a good thing. If someone's willing to spend money at your store, at your business, it doesn't necessarily matter if you make a mistake, but it does matter that how you handle that mistake, and you show them that you want to. Dude, everyone's accepting of if you make a mistake. Like, it's okay.
You've got to feel those feelings, be like, that's why I was ashamed, I was embarrassed because I said I can do this, and I didn't deliver it, and I was ashamed, I'm embarrassed. I felt those feelings, and now I'm like, all right, now what can I do to fix this problem? Because
in the time coming, how can you fix that from not happening again? And it's easy to fix that. It's like, okay, I did that wrong, so now we're just going to do this, and then we won't have that issue. And then people respect that.
And then next time you'll know.
Yep, and then you don't make that mistake again. And then if you make another mistake, another lesson to learn. And it's easy. And that's something that people don't really realise. They're too scared of failure. They're too scared of making a mix-up. And then they just won't do things. But just go out, stick your head in the ground and fucking go for it. And if you make a mistake, just fix it, and it's all good.
Yeah, well, that is definitely a massive thing, that failure is everything. Everybody's going to go through failure, and
you have to.
Failure it's how you take it. Like, you accept it, you feel the feelings, and then you solve the problem. Like, some people could just be like straight away defensive, like, nah, this isn't my fault, or this, that. Like, if you just accept everything and then move forward, it's always going to be, every single time, 100 times out of 100, it's going to be the best way to solve it. If you start blaming other people, doing other these things, it's not going to solve anything. It's going to put customers to put a bad review on your service, and that's just not what you're doing. And that's why, obviously, you've been getting such good reviews and such a lot of clients and all this stuff. So that's awesome.
Yeah, no, even if I lose money, man, I've lost, I think the most I lost was, I lost over $1,000 just by, I shipped something once that was about $1,000 and the order didn't arrive. And they were hassling me. And I was like, it's coming. And then it was like 3 weeks or something, and I was like, do you know what, I'm just going to send your whole order out again, express, get it to you as quick as possible, and I don't mind, I'll cop the loss. So if you're willing to cop, I'll cop whatever, man. I just need to keep pushing in the direction that I'm going. If I have a $2,000, $3,000 setback, I'm just going to keep pushing in that direction, making sure my customer's happy.
It's a small setback in the scheme of things.
In the scheme of things, yeah, definitely. So always customer number one, and then you get respect and you get loyal customers out of that.
Yeah, 100%. There's that's a big problem for some people, and that's what they don't understand. Like, humbling yourself is a big thing, and realizing that nobody is perfect.
Yeah, it's hard. It's like you do so many things right, and you still make a mistake, and you just got to cop it and just fucking do what you need to do to fix that problem, and then move forward from that.
Yeah, well, pretty much I reckon we should wrap it up now, but if you could tell everybody where they can find all your...
Yeah, so Ozminis Motorsport, at Ozminis_motorsport on Instagram is where we do all our business with the 110s. You should follow me on Tricky Moto, at Tricky Moto on Instagram. That's my motard page where I post all my wheelie videos, and I kind of express who I am as a person through style and wheelies, and and yeah, just fucking that's about it.
And the Facebook page as well.
Yeah, there's CRF 110 Buy Swap Sell on Facebook if you want to find parts or anything. There's 16,000 people on there. If you've got any questions, any question will be answered on there. There's that many people on there.
That's why I think it's really great that there's a massive community there, that even if you can't get in there straight away and give someone knowledge, there's other people there that can...
already been through it, yeah.
Yeah, there's other people that have gone through that and that can also help them. So it started off with just you being the person that was trying to help everyone, and from what you have taught people and the community that you bring together, you've got 16,000 people that are ready to be there to help, to give their advice. And like you said, that it looks like you handled that page pretty well and keep sort of haters out of it. And
yeah, that's a hard thing too.
Keeping some
scammers.
Keeping scammers and negative people out of...
Very hard thing to do.
Out of your business. But at the end of the day, man, like I said, man, I'm proud of you, and thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me, bro. I appreciate it. Cheers.
Okay.
Thank
Let's go
you.
the rest of our drink.
Legend.